That was good.
That was good.
Brilliant.
That was Jay Cutler, man. We killed it.
It was fantastic.
Over an hour. How long was it?
An hour.
I wanted it exactly an hour. Welcome to MD Global Muscle Radio here at the Pump Media Studios, joined by my co-host AJ, all the way from Norway.
Episode
20.
20. Episode 20.
Epic-sode.
I have a dream, Martin Luther King used to say.
Is he getting all excited?
What's going on?
I was going to say that. I was going to say episode.
Yo, because I've not hashtag it on the Instagram.
I have
Global
a
Muscle
dream
hashtag.
that one day we will have 20 episodes of Global Muscle, and we created it.
We did. We have.
Yeah, 20 episodes, Giles.
You should be proud, mate. You should be proud.
I'm very proud. I'm very proud. 20 episodes, and we're going for. But the funny thing is, not funny thing. The most epic thing is, now we really. We have a major announcement in 2 weeks.
Yep.
We're going to do something really big. We are expanding the Global Muscle brand.
Oh, yes.
We don't want to give no clues, but it's really big.
It's like big.
It's not about guests. It's expansion. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to start on a negative, though.
Oh.
But
it's negative.
Two things. Firstly, this morning in my house, the house wasn't filled with devil music. It was filled with me, and I accept responsibility. I was singing Backstreet Boys.
Chris, I woke up around 7 o'clock in the morning. Giles, first of all, Giles, you never sleep, do you?
I do sleep. No, you just, calling me an old man as well, saying I'm in bed at 2 a.m. I read the forums. I'm an early riser, though. Well, I never used to be.
And usually when you wake up, Chris, you hear this awful Satan music in the background. When you wake up, what's it called? What's it called?
Five finger,
whatever.
Yeah.
But today I woke up with Giles walking around the house cleaning and singing Backstreet Boys. So at least we're progressing.
Not progressing. That's not progression.
Of course it is. Everybody knows that.
I think we're off to a very bad start here.
The other sad part is...
The other very sad part is I asked you if you'd seen the new Avengers film, and you said, what's that?
I have no idea what it is. I have no idea. Sorry,
what are you... I
don't watch nerd things.
I realize Norway is a different country.
Yeah.
You know, you come from a different place.
Yeah.
But how could you not be living in... Are you living in some sort of bubble or in some sort of like underground bunker?
I watch bodybuilding, wrestling, Days of Our Lives, this reality show.
Days of Our Lives? That even still going?
New Housewives of New Jersey. I love the New Jersey one.
Oh, no. Orange County, the worst one.
And more bodybuilding, and then more bodybuilding and wrestling. So I'm not sure what you're talking about.
How can you not know about Avengers?
I don't know what it is. Is it one Half Thor is in?
That's Game of Thrones.
Oh, it's the same thing, isn't it? I have no idea. I don't watch nerd things, bro.
AJ,
I'm
not feeling this.
No.
So
Phil Heath has a poster with a hand with something on it, isn't it? Like, is that Avengers?
That's Thanos, yeah.
So, there you go. I know something about it.
Yeah. So if you could do a Thanos snap and remove 50% of something in the world, what would it be?
If I can remove...
Because Thanos in the film, when he snaps his fingers, he basically exterminates half of the universe.
Okay.
Not a spoiler, by the way, because it's in Infinity War.
The tax office, get that away. That's the one. And the second, to get away, to remove.
Yes. What could you remove 50% of?
Give me your one. You have the tax office is one.
Sugar.
Sugar is two.
Yeah, I'd like people to eat 50% less sugar. I'm diabetic, but I think it would cause a lot. I think it would solve a lot of obesity crisis and health issues. And I think sugar. People should eat half the amount.
I really hate Converse shoes.
Converse shoes?
I don't like when people walk around with those Converse shoes. It's very soft.
I thought, the 1980s called, mate.
No, 50. I don't know. Give me the other one. I'll think because I haven't thought about this.
It's probably something related to mental health. I'd like to see less like suicides, stuff like that. Yeah, because I think that's the biggest killer of men under 40, and that is something that, I mean, at the end of the day, that's something we can all agree that the world would be better.
Take away the dating apps and let people meet in real person and talk and flirt in real life. I like that.
AJ, have you ever used a dating app?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you say dating app. I use the term very loosely.
I got a lot of guys on Tinder contacting me. I don't know why. Trannies, they really like me. Okay.
It's
not cool, bro.
No, it's not cool.
On Instagram, I talked to a girl today. I thought it was a girl. It was a dude. Remember,
you showed me. And went, is she hot? And I went, yes, she's hot.
And it was a man.
I was a guy. She was pretty. He was pretty. What's the deal with that?
He was very pretty.
Was that? No, I don't even know. No.
Sad news in the bodybuilding world. That Nate and the Ash, the Pride of Jamaica.
Yep.
It's not doing the New York Pro.
Yeah, he was down though, wasn't he? He was down to do it.
And he didn't do it. Something happened.
Okay, but he is doing the British Grand Prix June the 30th.
Let's hope so.
He'll be doing it.
He's not doing the New York Pro or the Toronto Pro.
Yeah, he
now.
wasn't doing Toronto.
He was on the fence, as they say.
Yeah. So,
but now he's definitely not doing New York Pro.
Yeah.
And he's on the fence with Toronto Pro.
But you know what? I said to you, and I said, I saw a video of him training, and I said, he doesn't look where he needs to be if he's doing the New York Pro. So I was not shocked when I found that out. In fact, I wrote on Instagram or the forum or something, I said on the forum, MD Noble forum on musculardevelopment.com, I said, I don't think he's going to do it. I don't think he's going to be ready.
It really bothers me that he's not doing it, because Nate Diaz is really the best bodybuilder in the UK.
Yes, yeah.
Stop
yes.
this.
No, statistically he is. He's very good.
He's the best bodybuilder in the UK.
Yeah, he's
proven that.
He's knocking on the top 6.
How many pro wins does he have? 4?
He's won 3, 4. About 3, 4.
And what's the last time an English guy had a pro win other than him?
Flex Lewis.
Open classes where the big boys play.
Open. Well, Ernie Taylor didn't win a pro show. JD Duardo didn't win any open pro shows.
So there you go.
Dorian 97.
So, hello.
No, hang on. There's got to be an open. There's got to be.
Tell me who.
No. Eddie Abu got 3rd at the Ironman. Obviously that's not a win.
No.
No, I don't think there.
So when you got 4 pro open shows, killing it, and he's only been competing in 3 years. This is his 3rd year now. It's epic, is what that is.
Luke Sando done very well, but he hasn't won any pro shows yet.
James, epic 3rd place. That's not a win.
He's on the rise.
Is Samson gonna win any shows? Do you think?
Do you know what? Samson's one of these guys that
Samson Dowder for people at home.
Samson Dowdy, yeah, he took 5th at the EVL Prague Pro last year. I'll be honest, I didn't see him rising this fast. I could see his potential. You can see his shape. You can see his physique. But I didn't believe that he could rise as fast as he has. I thought he would... What he's achieved gains-wise and placings-wise and how he's looking and how he's positioning himself, I thought it would take him 2 to 3 years, but what he's done that in a year. So he's definitely one guy to keep an eye on. So...
Who do we have today? Guys...
Thank you, Muscle Gods.
Episode 20. We need we need to bring out the big guns.
Yeah, we couldn't mess about with this one.
And we found some real guns.
No, that's the one. That's great. That's great. Look at that. The 2009 foot stomp when he stamped on the stage. He came back and he went, right, this title is back. I'm having it back.
In Norway, Jay Cutler is probably the legend of legends. If you're age 28 to like 40 in Norway,
yeah,
Jay Cutler is the most popular bodybuilder of all time.
He's still very popular, isn't he?
When I was 18, I used to, what can I say? I used to straighten my hair out with a straightening, what's it called? What do you call it? A straightening, you straighten your hair out with a, what is it called?
A toaster?
Straightening iron.
Toaster?
To make the Jay Cutler haircut. And I have a slightly afro. So it was...
Oh, you look cool with an afro. Come with an afro, episode 21.
So then I had the fanny pack. I used to sit at home eating Ezekiel bread. You remember Ezekiel bread? Because Jay Cutler had it. And the orange juice, purifying.
I've never heard of that.
12 eggs.
12 eggs, I've heard of that.
Celtic, you know the Celtic we used to drink because of Jay Cutler and King Kabali?
Celtic, yeah. A supplement classic.
Orange was my best flavor. It has like 80 grams of pure sugar, of course.
Yeah, great for diabetics.
And I used to watch the Jay Cutler Muscle Tech DVDs and just sit and eat and fantasize of me being Jay Cutler.
Being Jay Cutler.
And now we're going to talk to Jay Cutler, the king.
Yes. Yeah, no, I love Jay. Love Jay.
We're going to ask him some good questions, aren't we?
Yeah, he's going to be a good interview.
I hope so, of course.
The thing is, I think the thing with Jay is this is something. I mean, we've spoke about professionalism in athletes. Someone who has maximised his own opportunities in the sport, out of the kind of in and out with his business. And there is a guy. I mean, he really mentored Phil Heath. He mentored Flex Lewis, and you can see that how
he mentored Flex Lewis. Jay.
He's been a very big influence on Flex Lewis.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Speak to Flex and ask who has been and still is a big influence and someone who's like a kind of a big brother who you'll go to for advice. And Jay Cutler was one of the people, like, along with people like Neil Hill and people like that really, really helped him, you know.
This is such an inspiring... Guys, just maybe not this little bit... The waist is not like...
It was tight in 2009.
It's not like...
Very tight. Very tight.
Sean Roden win. But look how tight... It's just... Look at the legs.
Sean Roden win? What do you mean?
His waist to Sean Roden in 2007 is like itty bitty. But even though he's not...
But he was so big.
I know. It's fantastic for his size.
Yeah.
And his legs, his quads, the overall presentation, even the hair, as we say. It's just... It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, awesome.
What a bodybuilder!
He's a very
professional, very inspiring.
And you know what I like? I like the way he's always been classy about his personal life. You never see him ranting on social media. He's very mindful. I mean, I remember speaking to Jay. I had dinner with him and Phil Heath at the 2014 FIBO. And he was telling me about... what was I going to say? I forgot.
Can we get a picture of Phil Heath and Jay Cutler together? While we're talking, I love the picture where they talked about when you discovered Phil Heath.
Oh yeah, that was was it actually backstage at the USA's 2005?
He met Phil Heath at a 2004 contest. Phil Heath.
2005 when he won the USA's, and there's a picture of Phil, and I think he just won the USA's that year. Yeah, that was it. And Jay just kind of reached out to him and he just helped him. And I think even though when Phil was coming up behind him, Jay didn't separate from him. He still helped him. And he really helped Phil to really accelerate his career, which ended up Jay being beaten by Phil in 2011.
He groomed him very nice, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. No.
That's the famous picture we're talking about. How old is Phil Heath? Oh, look at Phil Heath. Look how young he looks.
What year is that?
Well,
he's 23, so 17 years ago.
Because Phil is 39 or 40?
I think that's 2003.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah. 2003. Was that the Junior National?
Look at Big Jay Cutler there, though.
Yeah.
Like a proper Mr. Olympia champion walking around.
Tanned.
In tan, hair on point, belts, look at Phil Heath, but look at the splits in his biceps.
Yeah, come on. Anyone can see the guy had crazy genetics.
Look at Phil's face there.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think when Jay saw him, he just thought, oh, there's a guy. You know when we look at some of these, like Quinton Quint Beastwood, how we on last episode. You look at him, you just go, this guy. You've been helping Quinton?
Guys,
you've been helping
Quinton? In Romania, I met this guy called GOAT Muscle Canada.
Oh, yes.
Maybe you should go to Instagram 10 seconds to Instagram. GOAT Muscle.
GOAT
Canada,
Muscle.
while we talk about it.
Not gut muscle.
Let's see if you can find it. He was really, what can I say? I met him at the airport. Remember, this is my first time covering shows alone. We have some stories about that.
Go to the early episodes of Globe Muscle Radio.
Then I found him with a big muscle girl at the airport.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, we bonded right away. You see another guy with a muscle girl, and he looked like a bodybuilder, and you're like, "Hey, hello, what's up, bro?" We connected.
What's the account you're looking for on Instagram?
GOAT Muscle Canada.
GOAT Muscle.
GOAT Muscle Canada.
GOAT Muscle Canada.
Bring it up. Fire up.
Just to give him some, because we at Global Muscle, MD, Muscle Development, Pump Media, we trying to help people. How many people don't you, we can talk about how many people we help, but, okay, so this guy, GOAT Muscle Canada, I met him, his name is Damian Gordon.
Yep.
He used to train with Flex Wheeler, them guys, back in California.
Same tattoo as Flex Wheeler.
You know how old he is?
How old is he?
50.
Wow.
If not more. Exactly. Scroll down a little bit.
That's a nice breakfast he's eating there.
He's got them calories. He's go down. Let me see a picture, a little bit older picture. If you go scroll down gently, let's see if you got some stage pic. Yeah, there. Press the stage pics.
Oh, he's good. He's good.
Press that.
Oh, it's Amazonka.
Press play.
Yeah. Oh.
Need to mute it
Oh, the music you mean for the copyright?
for the copyright.
Yeah.
Okay, so here you see. Look at him.
Yeah, he looks good.
Oh,
Really
look
good.
at the presentation, huh?
Yeah. Was he pro? Was he pro amateur or amateur?
Pro amateur.
So was he bodybuilder or
Bodybuilding, you see that?
Bodybuilding,
This is from the
yeah.
90s, though.
Oh, okay.
Remember, he's 50.
Okay.
So this is from the night.
Yeah, nice physique.
Huh?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
physique.
you see that
yeah,
proper.
yeah. So
Yeah. So anyway, so he reached out to me and said, I'm really seeing the potential in Oriah.
23. Quentin Area doing the Toronto Pro. He's on episode 18 of Global Muscle Radio.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're just blown away by
So
this kid.
he is a professional posing coach.
Yep.
He's helping a lot of the females with their posing. His wife, Tanya Knight, is
Tanya Knight?
No, his girlfriend. He's got many girlfriends, by the way. He's a player. But anyway, so he's helping. Maybe, should we cut it out,
Just
maybe?
carry on,
No,
keep
carry
talking.
on. So he reached out to me and said, I really want to help Oriah because I see epic potential in him.
Yeah.
So we hooked him up now with Oriah.
Fantastic.
He's going to help him with the presentation for the Toronto Pro.
Yeah.
Because I told Oriah, you're not going to win Toronto Pro most likely.
Yeah.
But if you bring the epic presentation with your
have to.
posing and helping with that, come in,
Yeah.
it's going to be epic.
AJ, that kid hasn't even if he's already making an impact. He hasn't even stepped on stage as a pro yet. People are talking about Quentin.
Talking about him.
Check him out on Instagram, Quint Beastwood. Love it. Love a good pun.
Joss, you're the one who, he's the one who made all the work, but you discovered him first.
Well,
And then RX tried to do something 3 months later. They're slow to the party, aren't they?
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't say
We're the
that.
quickest one.
Yeah.
We're quick.
Yeah, I said we need to jump on this guy before the other outlets get him. I said because this, and he really nice kid as well. I mean, 23. Where could he be in? 5 years. He'll still be 28. I mean, that's. It's like when you look at like Flex Lewis and everything, and he's won 7 212 Olympia titles, and he's like, he could retire tomorrow, and he's only like 34, 35. I mean, some of these guys aren't even turning pro till they're 35.
One thing, when we have bodybuilders on, obviously myself, who obviously I love bodybuilding, but I would never advise I would never advise them how to train. Obviously, they know a lot better than me about that.
Yep.
But I can talk to them about professionalism.
Yeah.
Giles, we have some problems in the landscape, don't we?
Oh, look, it's my old column.
We have some problems.
Yeah, sorry.
Because we don't want to mention
Sorry,
name,
just
but
self-worshiping
many
there.
times on this show, people cancel the minute before we start recording.
There's various reasons. But I think
Sleeping late, faking up going to the doctor, doesn't know how Skype works,
Passport office.
hasn't shaved. Some people are high on weed and don't want to be on camera. Like they can't even stop smoking
Yeah.
the day of the... Come on.
AJ, I'm not trying to be precious here. I'm not trying to be precious about my wonderful show, our wonderful show. But I think we're going to have to put it out there. We're going to have to be a little bit stricter. I think we're going to have to say, because at the end of the day, if I'm doing something on Skype with a Skype recorder at home and someone says, can we reschedule? I'll be like, yeah, what, Thursday? Okay, we'll do it Thursday. No problem. Go into my office, record it. But when we're talking about 20 episodes we've done, that is 10 flights from Norway to UK. You're flying in. I'm having to drive to the airport. It's an hour each way, an hour and a half each way. And then we're having
You have to make eggs at night.
I have to make eggs at night.
Clean the sheets.
I always
Hide the cats.
hide the cats. Yeah, put the
They run quick when they see me walking in the door, by the way.
put the devil music
The
on.
cats is not feeling me.
Oh, I saw little.
I think when people are over 6'3" or 6'4", they get afraid and just run away.
No, I saw little black and white Domino. He was starting.
He was okay.
He's starting to feel the AJ presence in the house now.
So Jay Cutler, yeah.
But basically, what I'm going to say is, and we have to book our producers. We have to book.
We got 2 producers now. We're like
we're doubling up, man. We're balling. We're balling.
balling.
Yeah. So we have basically it's a professional setup. When the athletes and the people come on, like, this sounds good. It looks good. It's a professionally put together show. Sorry, my voice is going from yesterday. And so my point is, if someone cancels or something, or we're logging on my WhatsApp and we're saying, okay, let's get you on Skype, and they're not responding and they're not even online, it really drops us in the shit.
Yeah, but okay, inside information for people who want to know.
Not cool.
Jay Cutler, the legend, 4 times Mr. Olympia.
What are you gonna say?
What no one say was on your case to come on quicker, or like
several times.
Are we ready tomorrow? Are we ready tomorrow? In a good way.
He was messaging me yesterday and last night I was on the kitchen. He went, oh look, Jay's messaged you.
Flex Lewis, the greatest 212 compared, well, at least with Sean Ray, but he didn't compete in 212. But Flex Lewis, he so professional. Phil Heath, who did not, what can I say? You were friendly with Phil Heath before we did the show, but you weren't friends with him yet.
No.
And he was the and then our first episode, nobody knows who. Maybe I was like an idiot, or maybe he didn't have a bond with you. Who knows? But he came on right at time.
Yeah.
And for him, 8 in the morning.
Bang on time.
8 in the morning.
Bang on time.
Bang on time interview. And these guys who's trying to come up, and girls, and they can't even fix their
AJ,
Skype.
so the point is, if Jay Cutler, Phil Heath, and Flex Lewis can be on time and can even check with me the night before and say, are we still good for tomorrow? Here's my Skype name. Do you want to request me? Then I'm sorry, but there are no excuses, because if something crops up, then you need to let us know, because you see, this is one of the reasons why we have more than one guest now. We can't. I mean, there was one episode where a big name literally dropped us in the shit as we were pulling up to the studio.
We don't want to name him, but my God.
No, that's bad. That's really bad. And it's stressful as well, because people are relying on, this is what pays my mortgage. This is, so this isn't like. This isn't me in my office or in my basement, and I'm pulling something on. And
well, you do have a $4 million house, though, so that mortgage is pretty big, so. It's a nice house. You got how many rooms? 8, 9?
I had to do a lot of gay for pay for that.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
I know you got sunglasses on, but I can see that glint.
Exactly what I was going to say.
I can see that glint in your eye, you bastard.
Can you imagine doing that to another man, and it's on the internet, and the kids are searching Giles, getting pounded?
Actually, please don't search Giles Thomas, because you might see some dodgy things come up.
How embarrassing, huh? Embarrassing, isn't it?
Well, once you.
No, stop it. Anyway, so
do you know what?
No, don't say that. Don't say that. But anyway, okay. So please, when you turn pro, you are now. There's no magazines anymore.
Learn from Jay Cutler.
We have MD magazine, even though that's selling like hotcakes off the streets. It's not selling as much as in the glory days. Yeah. So it's up to you to be, when you turn pro, show up. Be a professional.
Yeah, I'm going to be a bit Jordan Peterson now, but it's all about individual responsibility. It's not about. It's like people say, what the hell has Sean Roden done as Mr. Olympia? And it's like, he's representing the title. No, all professional bodybuilders are representing the sport. They're all representing the Mr. Olympia title, not just Sean Roden. So don't just get on Sean Roden's case. They're all collectively responsible. So when they conduct themselves. I mean, I'll be honest. Most of them are pretty good, but some behave disgracefully. Some rant and this is a lot of these guys. They're relying on things like sponsorship. There's not a huge amount of money in the sport, so be professional. Be mindful of what you put on social media, and just conduct yourself and make sure. It's like sometimes, like when I'm writing my columns, and I need a new. I've got like 5 news items. I'll typically go 5 news items, and then I'll message and I'll say, okay, I've got to hand this in tomorrow. Have you got a good image? I need a high resolution image, unwatermarked, with no.
They don't even have the pictures.
With permission from photographer, and they go, oh, haven't you got any? That's one guy. One guy said to me, he goes, haven't you got any? I went, why would I have photos of you? You need my partner.
I have a lot of pictures of bodybuilders on my wall, so I have a lot of.
But my partner, like Rosie Rascal Hart, the IFBB Pro, she was Rookie of the Year, won her first pro show.
Come back soon.
Come back. She was when we were sponsored with Ronnie and RCSS, and she always had like a zip file on her laptop, which had access to images that, so she would send a selection. It's straight to the magazine, straight to the media outlets. The thing is, if you've got 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, you've got a window. Don't be one of these bodybuilders that is one of the top guys in the world and you end up broke. Do not do that. And also treat your sponsors well. And if you leave a company and you stop being sponsored, don't go on a rant slagging them off. I remember when
sometimes I cringe when they diss their companies.
Oh,
I don't want to mention name. They're like,
It's like, look, the end of the day, right? If you're going to be sponsored, it might be for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. The bottom line is it's never going to last forever. So when you leave to either your contracts run out and they want to sponsor a men's physique or some Instagram star or whatever, but like, I'll tell you a really good example. Flex Lewis, when he left Gaspari, he put an official professional letter thanking them. Wow. You know, it's like when I left MD.
Isn't Ron Harris with Gaspari now for 50 years or something?
Yeah. It's like when MD let me go, 2013.
What happened?
Well, I certainly didn't make a video and put it on YouTube. Do you know what I did? Do you know what I did?
What you're talking about now?
I emailed them back and I thanked them for the opportunity. And I said, Steve, I've had 4 years. I said, in this industry, that is a long time to be signed and to be working for something. I mean, you know, my columns and all my covering the Olympias and all these different shows. I thanked him for the opportunity. But then, and I went, and within 2 weeks, I was working for Flex Magazine and I had lots of opportunities there, which I'm very thankful for. And then a few years later, what happens? I'm at the Tampa show. And
you met him again.
And I'm back. Look what This is what happened.
Look at me. Look at
AJ. I'm being serious. This is like I'm balling. No, now it's like it's leave gracefully. Leave gracefully. Be respectful. Don't be like, oh. I remember once when one guy left a supplement company and he set up his own, and when he was set up his own company, he was hashtagging the company that had been supporting him for like 8 years. And I was like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. It's so unprofessional. Thing is, then when the supplement companies come to sponsor somebody new, they'll think, oh, we're not going to sponsor those guys. They're just a bunch of idiots. Don't be that.
And I'm sad to say,
what, mate?
The level of people currently in the media game is an all-time low, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
there's a lot of egomaniacs out now. It's not about us, it's about the athletes.
Exactly.
We're here to present the athletes and look professional, act professional. Obviously, we can have fun and troll a lot. But these guys are embarrassing.
Just because you're in front of the camera, just because you're at the big shows, it doesn't. I mean, I don't understand ego anyway. I think ego is the biggest. I think ego is the biggest enemy of anyone. I think once the ego outgrows, you have an overinflated sense of your own worth, your own. And honestly, it's not a way to get people to endear themselves to you. It won't. People just go, oh. Once, like, if I sense a bit of an ego in someone like an athlete or someone in sport, it makes me want to. It's like a reverse magnet. I just want to get as far away from them as possible. Yeah. And the ones with like the Flex Lewis, the Jay Cutlers, the Ronnie Colemans, these are the people that leave a legacy. These are the people that are still making money long after they've retired, that people want to work with them. These are people that want to be associated. These companies want to, because these people, Jay Cutler, these aren't a physique, they're a brand. So to create brands from that and create opportunities, you've got to be professional, kind to others.
Do you know who was kind to others? Who was professional? With that daily miss.
Oh, come on, man.
Put him on, man. Put up my brother on. I just thought about it. It's my boy. Put him on, bro. Oh, you sleeping over there, our producer. What's going? We got these apprentices. You're not quick, bro. You gotta be quick.
You're fired.
You gotta press the. I'm like, no. That's my guy, bro. Just press play, man. Rich Piana. You know, he got so much hate. But have you ever seen a more professional marketer than Rich Piana?
Very successful. No arguing with that.
And this current YouTube guys makes me fall asleep.
I suppose when you compare him to him. Yeah.
And you compare him to Rich Piana. I don't care if his arms were whatever it was in. Yeah. Helping people. Oh, now we got a commercial for hot dog here. Whatever
Hot dog?
No, okay.
Oh, I'm hungry now.
Yeah. Please push play. Let me talk a little bit about my friend, good friend, Rich Piana. Oh, okay, forget about it then. Rich Piana, rest in peace. That's the guy. You know he would do.
Marks and Spencer's now.
How many hours was he in the expo line working? How many lines? How many hours?
I mean, you could always tell where he was because there was just crowds of people.
He was shaking hands 8 hours in a row.
Yeah.
Professional to the T.
Yeah.
Balling.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Rich Piana. Really,
very sad.
I really miss you, brother. I really miss you. They're such a good guy. Do you know what?
So I've been around him. I've never actually spoke or shook hands with him. But you know how I judge? I judge him by how other people talk about them in the industry.
Everybody says good things about him.
It's like people like DLB and people like that. You know, they're very well thought of.
That's Mack Truck, if I'm correctly.
Is it? I've heard of him.
They had a fallout.
Oh, yeah.
I think, sadly. But they were good friends, as you can tell in the beginning.
You know, maybe you and me will have a fallout. We'll have a bit of a rumble. You're tombstoning me, mate.
I'm ready.
That'd be a good episode.
Okay. Other than the champ Jay Cutler,
Yep.
Charles Griffin is in the building tonight.
Am I allowed to say Brown Hulk?
Yeah. Black Hulk. Say whatever you want.
Okay, I'll say Black Hulk.
Yeah.
He is, to me, he's a human Hulk. Hulk smash. Is he going to Hulk smash in Chicago?
I hope he's gonna perform some DMX songs for us. He's got the same voice as DMX.
Blank face.
You don't know who DMX is? You don't know who DMX is?
I think I've heard you allude to this gentleman before.
Who that?
What?
Okay, forget
You're
it.
clearing your throat there, mate.
No, that's DMX. That's Charles Griffin. That's how he speaks, isn't it?
I used to ride one.
You did.
I used to ride one.
And also Charles Griffin, who's have you seen his size? 3D arms.
Who?
Charles Griffin.
Oh, sorry. I was, yes. Yeah, he's huge. Mate, I love him. I love Charles. And you know what? Talking about professionalism, going back to that.
That's a professional
my
guy.
show, Muscle News. I'm not doing Muscle News Weekly anymore, by the way.
But he was one of your.
He was one of my regulars, and to be honest, the two that pop into my head straight away that were the best and most eager and most appreciative and the best in terms of what they would send me was him and Sean Clarida for clips. Like, say, I need an update by tomorrow. No worries, brother. And you get that, and you get it, and it's a really
For people at home, if you want to get impressed by a short man, go to Sean Clarida's Insta. He's 4'9".
4'9".
How tall is he?
He's about 5'2". On a good day.
Have you seen the intensity and the weight?
I know.
Oh, it looks
Can we
like
get Sean Clarida up?
It looks like his knee's gonna break when he does the leg press.
SHAUN
Oh,
Clarida, CLARIDA. This guy's awesome. No point bringing up Charles Griffin because we've got him later in the show.
We got producers who can't spell, bro.
Well,
what is going
How
on?
is he going to know how to spell Sean Clarida? So where did Sean Clarida place at the Olympia, Shane? Give us a guess. Give us a guess.
Give us a guess. 212.
You can't cheat. You can't cheat now. We need
Anyway, that's a guy who can
we need it on the screen.
inhuman strength for such a small. He's not small, but a short man.
Do you know what he weighs? He weighs like 170, and this is like a 212 class. If there was a 185 and under class, he'd be like a 10-time Olympia champion.
King Q beat him. Remember last year in his rookie debut.
Oh, at the yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it?
That was a really good scalp for Sean Clarida.
Did he place at 8th place?
Dwayne Quamina to take.
Was it 8th at the last Olympics?
I was outside after the show, and he looked on his phone. He went, "Oh, I got 8th place," but it turned out I think he got 7th. He
got 7th.
He moved up.
Look at this physique, guys. Huh? 5'2", 170 pounds.
He's like a little version of Ronnie Coleman and Flex Wheeler. Like a hype. Look at that. Look at the muscle bellies. You see, this is where, and if you see him, he just looks tiny in his clothes. He's got a tiny little head. But when he steps on stage, the thing is that AJ, when you see him at the Olympia, AJ.
Remember you called that guy a gay on the other episode?
That was a...
No. Back to Sean Clarida, yeah? Oh, look at that muscle. Go down. Press right. Down.
Photoshop.
Right. It's a Photoshop. We don't want to... I don't know what the difference between Photoshop or not is. I'm not a nerd.
No. But he... Like, when he's on stage, your eyes are drawn to his physique because he's got these crazy muscle bellies, tiny little joints.
That's Michael Edwards' favorite 212 guy.
Yeah. No, I'd love to see him in that top 5 this year. The thing is, if you look at his Olympia placings, he didn't make top 15. Then every single year he's moving up and up and up and up and up, and he's winning pro shows. He won the last pro show. He won. That looks like it's Tampa or Dallas. That's Dallas.
Our other guest is somebody you know very well. She made this is a big Jay Cutler. This is gonna get views, but sometimes we bring on friends.
Yeah. Friends or friends in the industry that I think are worthy of publicity.
And she's definitely worthy of it.
Who
is it? Who do we have on?
Sylvia Sissy Scaglione. Now, I've known Sylvia several years. She's married to the Swiss prep coach, Patrick Tour, a very, very good friend of mine.
Who does he prep? Daniel Toth.
Yeah, Daniel Toth.
Roman Fritz.
Thing is, he preps people all over the world. I mean, go on Patrick Tour's newsfeed and just look at them. And they're all in shape. They're all amazing. He actually helped prep Ronnie Raquel that year. He won the Ferrigno. And he helped him with his... I spoke to him about... Because... like myself, Ronnie Raquel is he's diabetic, and he helped it. And I was very curious to know how he prepped because because I last competed in 2013. When I found out I had diabetes afterwards, I basically went, oh well, that's my competing days over. So so I just went back to schmoing in the sport.
So back to her.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Sylvia. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, and
It's all about Giles.
no, Sylvia. Yes, and she decided to come back. I didn't even know what class she was going to come back in. And then about 6 weeks out, it was like, whoa, her condition incredible. But she's turned pro now in the women's physique, and I honestly believe, looking at that, I think she'd have placed top 5 at the Arnold Classic this year.
You do?
I think she's that good. You look at top to toe.
Top 5 in Arnold Classic.
Oh yeah. 100%,
That's
100%.
yeah.
And she's going to be competing at the Lisbon show in 3 months, and they're just lovely people, and I'm so happy for them, and for her to get a pro card in such a good show, and she's going straight into the pro show as well. But I just hope everyone enjoys, a little glimpse of this. I think she's a star of the future.
You know what I did with Roman Fritz?
What's that?
Maybe we can find the clip later. Not right now because you're struggling over there. But
Dissing our new guy.
I met Roman Fritz in Romania.
Oh, okay. Oh, you interviewed him. I remember.
And I drank a protein shake, a full liter,
I remember.
in 4 seconds. Can anybody do that?
Why did you do that, AJ?
To impress Roman Fritz.
Why would
You want to press your heroes?
I could drink this green tea in 5 seconds.
No, the point is, I'm really fan of bodybuilders,
Yeah.
So when I meet them, I make sure that I have to do something to impress them. So you don't want to be like an idiot interviewing them.
Didn't try and arm wrestle Victor Martinez, or?
Oh, you don't want to break his arm again? Anyway.
Imagine that. I'm an arm wrestling.
Oh no, AJ broke Victor's hand again.
Have you ever been asked for arm wrestle?
Yes, I always decline.
Yeah.
You don't want to break your arm. Who cares about arm wrestling? Well, have you seen that guy with the big hands? The Russian.
The what?
The Russian arm wrestler.
Big hands.
And he has like huge arm, like a Russian. He's a world champion of arm wrestling. You've seen that guy? Have you seen him, Chris?
No, I'm not aware of this man. I'm not aware
You
of
know
this
what
guy.
I'm talking about. He's like, whoa! It's like an ape.
AJ, microphone.
Oh yeah, okay. Anyway,
AJ gets a bit excited sometimes when he talks about people.
let's switch topics to
Come on, then.
something. By the way, before we go, something very serious. What would you do if you were Roman Fritz? Because he's always in condition. He's not getting size. What's
Do
going
you think
on?
he should drop down to classic? He's too big, isn't he?
He's too big.
Yeah. But could he lose the muscle to lose the weight
He's
to
too
get
big
in?
for classic. And you don't want to go to classic with your open bodybuilding. I hate those switching.
Don't know, because his condition, his symmetry, his shape is very good, but he needs to put some size on, doesn't he?
Why is he always in this ripped condition
I know,
year
I
round,
know,
not
I know,
putting on
I know.
any mass?
Well-
He's only 27 or 28.
Oh, he's 27. Oh, he's young then.
Yeah, but he's been like this for 4 or 5 years now.
He's very good.
It's very good. That's why we want to see him.
He's done top 6, isn't he? in
You want to
shows?
see him at the Mr. Olympia. You don't want to see him.
Well, he needs to seriously size up.
He needs to, doesn't he? Have some banana shakes and some...
Banana milkshakes and meat.
Quick one to Jamie the Giant. We have an important. They have an important day.
Yeah.
Let's listen to what they're saying.
That's Jamie's wife.
That's his wife.
Going into mental health, but there's much out there that,
Are they? Can we hear that on the screen?
Can we hear this?
Yeah. Well, do you want to? Why don't we just say what she's talking about? Yeah, she's basically she's discussing about mental health awareness.
Yeah. So they have the 18th of May at what does it say there? Likestone Gym and Fitness, Derbyshire.
Ilkeston.
Where's Derbyshire? Where's that?
Derbyshire? Ilkeston. Edinburgh.
Edinburgh. No. This is a serious topic.
Yeah. Well, I'm not.
So Jamie the Giant's wife, she has some mental or having, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Because this is something that's very close to her heart. Jamie the Giant, Jamie Johal, the new
Jamie Christian.
6'6", 340 pounds he's going to be.
Yeah, he's crazy.
He's really stepping out and trying to help something very important, that mental problems.
important, so
What do you call it? Mental awareness.
Mental health awareness.
And we're in May now. This is Mental Awareness Month, I've heard, or something like that. So he's doing it best. So please, guys, if you're in...
Ilkeston.
Yeah, go there or go to AK the Giant's Instagram.
Yeah, AKA The Giant. That's Jamie Giant's Instagram. You can check out more details there. So, yeah, check
So
it out.
mental health, that's something we both struggle with. We are sometimes... we are still struggling, of course.
I've still had bad days.
Yeah, we still have bad days. Something you want to touch on, or
Well, we spoke about it a little bit in the last episode, and
you said we're going to talk about it.
I put the videos out. I put those clips on my Instagram and Facebook, and it did get a big response. And I think it's, like I said, with this show, we tried to be entertaining, educational, but at the same time, I think it's important to allude to these serious topics because they affect every single person. And if you're lucky enough to have not been affected by anything by now, then I guarantee it's coming, whether it be a
Okay.
Well, it is.
It's guaranteed that you're going to go mental.
So someone's going to die in your life.
Okay.
Family members are going to die. You're gonna. That's gonna knock you sideways. That's gonna knock you on your ass. You're gonna have. You could lose a job, and it could cause a spiral. You could have a breakup, which could lead you to drink and drug problems, which we've all had. Yeah, I've had it. Big time. Like drug addiction, stuff like that. Yeah. So
it's. What can I say? But at least 50% in the bodybuilding community have had some type of problems with recreational drugs, mental problems. And that's why many people come to the sport, isn't it? To try to
like some people say, "Oh, my best therapy is when I go to the gym."
Go to the gym.
Like when I go to the gym, sometimes I've got really something bugging me or really dragging me down, and like I call it a mental flushing. Like literally 10, 15 minutes into the workout. I found with my mental health, I found it improved when I did cardio every morning. And I put my old Jordan Peterson on the YouTube and I'd get my Mino drink and I open the conservatory doors and I get the fresh air in, and it really puts me on a really good start to my day. And honestly, it gets you, the first half of the day gets you in a good positive frame of mind, gives you energy, and it keeps you mentally and physically healthy, invigorates you, gets the mind ticking. And rather than sitting on the sofa scrolling on social media or drinking too much coffee or drinking wine every night at home and then thinking, oh, I can't be bothered to go to the gym. Get to the gym, eat clean, do your cardio, look after yourself, treat yourself well, because I'm telling you, if you don't, you can I tell you what, it's like, it's so easy just to...
I had been suffering with depression.
When?
From age, now I'm 35, so from age...
You said you don't sleep very well.
From probably age 20, because I had a rough, not upbringing, but what can I say? I've been in prison.
Yeah.
But that's not that bad. But it's the thing that's...
good. You don't want to go back, do you?
But that didn't affect me.
Oh, okay.
In a negative depression thing. Okay. But I'm just saying all the things I've been through.
Yeah.
A lot of things. Seeing people die before me.
Yeah.
Being shot at. A lot of brutal things. It don't affect you when you're young.
Bounces off you a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, but probably age 27, 28.
Catches up with you.
And I've always felt that I was meant to do more than just working a regular job that I did in Norway.
Yeah.
And just living 9 to 4. And I have a
9 to 4?
Isn't it that?
What is this, Norway? They work 1 hour less in Norway.
Isn't 9 to 4?
Well, what's the Dolly Parton song? Working 9 to 5.
Gotta make a living. Those implants were too big, by the way. I don't like that.
Okay.
Anyway.
I'll not get any then.
Depression. So... around in Norway,
I
started getting depressed because in Norway, if you're different, they don't like you.
Right. Okay.
They like you, but it's you can't live it out.
Yeah.
If you walk on the street with this hair,
you're not. Well, you are tall. You're not blonde and white. Well, you're not. You're not. I've been to Scandinavian clubs and it's just all.
So I get a lot of.
You are beautiful though.
Once, twice, 3 times a lady. Yeah. No, but in Norway, when you're 6'5", and very wide, and you look maybe like what they say call a gangster, you know. In Norway, the people are very afraid of me when they look at me. Okay. They're not very friendly,
right? Okay.
If they don't know me,
they're just uncertain of you, who you are.
And I would say I'm a very friendly person. Wouldn't you say so?
Very.
Big. I have a very big heart. I really love people. I love kids.
Do you know? I'll say this now. This is you just trick. You just. Do you know what Rosie said about you?
No.
She said, AJ's a very, very good influence on you, Giles. And she said, because I had problems 6 months ago, and around the time when we started the show, I was kind of in the worst of it. And this show and what we're doing here and the positivity and what we're bringing to the industry and all the fun we have and the intensity and the drama and stuff that goes on behind the scenes and me headbutting the steering wheel and telling people to go fuck themselves and, stuff like that. It's kind of like, I can't, I mean, these, if we stop tomorrow, I'm going to remember those times, they're good times. And it's something that you can give a bit of, like, I feel like we're really contributing something good, not just to the industry, but kind of to the world. If that sounds a bit over the top, really, does it?
And one thing, back to finish my story.
Sorry.
You know when I went out of the proper depression?
Well, yeah.
The day in your room after interviewing Phil Heath.
Oh, really?
7 years in depression.
Shit, I didn't know that.
7 years.
Fucking hell.
7 years I had depression.
Oh,
I'm not saying that I was gonna. I had some. Have you ever thought about suicide?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some moments thinking about suicide, not close to
The
it.
day Sergio nearly cancelled on us that day. Sorry, I'm joking. That's not good.
Come on, John.
No, come on, John.
This is not.
I'm trying to be lighthearted here. No, you can be serious and be lighthearted about subjects at the same time.
And then
Love you, Sergio.
And it wasn't like a deep, like you wanted to do it.
Is it just a rut?
I don't know what that means, but whatever.
Like a you're in a bit of a hole and a bit of a negative emotion.
7 years.
7 years, mate. That's terrible.
And after interviewing Phil Heath and going to Romania to watch some glutes up tight, to see some thong action, to see some oil. It's what got me out of my heavy depression.
Yeah.
And I'm still have my days,
It's like a train coming off the tracks. If all it takes is just a little nudge to get you back on, then at least you can. It's like when I do my cardio in the morning, it can put me in from a weird mood or whatever into a good mood, and then it allows me to unravel my day in a positive way.
So how did you get out of your what was your routine that was worst for you personally? How long have you you want to go into it or no?
Yeah, we can do. Yeah. Well, myself and Rosie had a few problems last year, which was out of the blue because we'd always had such a good, strong relationship, and I was with her on a journey to she got a pro card, the Amateur Olympia, and then she won her first pro show in Dallas, and then she went to the Olympia and got Rookie of the Year, and it was just like this. I felt part of something, and we were buzzing, and everything was happening, and it was just like a really exciting time. And then last year she went, right, I'm done. And it was like my role was kind of as supporter, and I think we were both a little bit okay, what now? And the whole dynamic and the shift of the relationship changed, and like Rosie started cutting her hair and doing different things.
Cutting her hair, man.
I know. I just came in. It was like like Britney Spears. Like
no!
I think the worst one was when I walked into the kitchen, and from the back she looked like a mum because she was dressed in the same as mum. She had the same hairstyle because she never has her hair curly, and that freaked me out. So anyway, we had our problems, and then it kind of just escalates, and then you have problems, and there's obviously things that come from that, and it's like it's just you kind of I could never even experience anxiety before that, so of course I had that to contend with.
Anxiety is awful.
It's just what it is.
You think you have a heart attack, but it's not.
It's emotion. It's basically like everything kind of just it's too much and you can't cope. And then I kind of hit like a sort of real wall, like we literally sliding down the wall, grabbing your head. That was after episode 4. So thank you, Tony Freeman. No, that was after the Tony Freeman episode.
Yeah,
nothing to do with Tony, but yeah, that was my kind of rock bottom.
Whatever happened to that natural? We're not gonna talk about that. No.
And
Tony Freeman, yeah,
lovely.
After episode 4,
yeah, it was great. Yeah, and then I just thought, and then lucky, but I got myself. I spoke about this last episode, but I got myself an NLP coach, and I just changed my habits, and I just tackled the things that were troubling me, like little tight, like crazy little things, like parking tickets you hadn't paid that are just there, and they're little things, and you just tick them off, and you just tackle them, and you face them. Started listening to Dr. Jordan Peterson, stopped drinking wine, and I got back training and doing cardio, hard, regular, really going for it rather than just dragging my ass around the gym. And then it's unbelievable how quickly things can just unfold. It's amazing. You just think, I'm just going to take me ages to get out of this, and then it just like within a couple of weeks, I was like, it was like my start of this year was fantastic, and by changing habits and stopping bad ones. Like, when do you ever hear music in my house anymore? It's quiet, isn't it? I put my Jordan Peterson or my Joe Rogan podcast on when I'm cooking in the kitchen anymore. I was listening to music because it's like it's a comfort. It's a cyclical behavior. Okay. It's like, and then drinking wine every night because you think, just get rid of my anxiety for an hour. But then the next morning you wake up with more because that's what it does. What it takes away, it punches you back with harder the next day. Like drink and drugs, you might get out your head and you might feel okay for those. It's like harder drugs, which
like what?
Cocaine. You feel it's what's the word? Serotonin. It's like you feel good when you're on it. But I tell you what, if you're feeling bad and you're doing that to escape it, the next 3 days are going to be hell. I was heavily addicted. This is going back a few years now. I was heavily addicted to an injectable painkiller called Nubane.
What is that?
It's an injectable painkiller. It's an opiate. I was on that 10 years. I've still got scar tissue on the side there. And that's something, I'm a different person to who I was 6 months ago. I came off that, I was 2001 to 2011 I was on that. 2001 to 2011.
10 years on it?
10 years, literally all the time.
Oh.
Yeah, it's what it is,
How did it feel to stop that shit though in 2011? Like a new man, huh?
Felt good, yeah. Felt good. You're living like a secret life. I had 2 relationships where they didn't even know about it.
You had 2 relationships?
2 long-term relationships where they didn't even know about it. So yeah, it's So things like, I think it's in your 20s, you act out, but all that time I was competing and training and everything else. But it's like, I don't know. I think anything you can fill your life with that's positive. It's like doing this show, like covering the feeling of use, feeling of value, feeling like your life's got more meaning and purpose to things like this industry, and people are like Jack Quinton. He was like, when you get a video and he's shared it on his story, and he's like, guys, and let you get people like I got a message today saying, you made so and so feel really special for promoting them, and it's like,
I feel when
fills your heart, man.
When the bodybuilders go to me on DM and say, AJ, I really appreciate what you do for me, because I really go out of my way to try to help everybody.
You do. You're a good person. The thing is, AJ, you've got a good heart, and that shows through.
It means more to me than when girls say you're hot.
Well, we both get that a lot too.
I'd rather help bodybuilders with all I can do than flirt with girls, bro.
Well, I think it's not a bad way to live. If you give out more positive kindness, help, support, encouragement, I think that's a better way to live, because you might get the odd person who takes advantage of it and doesn't matter. Yeah. But I think it's like karma. I'd rather have good karma than bad karma. What do you think?
For people, give me 2 things, and I'll give you 2 things. How do you get out of depression or mental problems? 2 advices. What's your best advice?
Take better care of yourself physically.
The second one is?
Eat better, train, do cardio. Look, I'm diabetic, so I have to eat clean. You saw me yesterday with that KFC. I was ill. I had a little bit of fried chicken. I don't eat this. It was either that or starve to death, because the lean kitchen was shut. And I feel like shit. I was ill. I was taking Anadid, aspirin and stuff, because I just came home and I felt awful. Take better care of yourself.
And that's pretty.
And see, that takes care of you physically, which helps you mentally. Like I go to I see him as like a therapist. He's classed as an NLP, neuro linguistic programming coach. I'm going on Friday morning, and I just talk. Someone who's there, who's got life experience. He's a psychotherapist. He's a hypnotherapist. He's got life experience. He's suffered anxiety. He's had problems with drink and all these different things. He's had life. He's lived a life. So with someone like that, and I lay it all. I remember the first time I went in there, I was so tense. I was like a dead spider. I was so tense, and I was just anxious, and then even after that first session, I got in the car and I just burst out crying. Ooh, it's a release. It's got to. So basically, over the overarching of what we're talking about here is you've got to talk. You've got to reach out to people. You've got to pull yourself.
My advice would be for especially to younger people.
Yeah.
Tell somebody you really love or trust about your problems, because that's where it starts. Tell somebody about your problems. The other one, whatever you do, stop any use of recreational drugs.
The worst thing you can do.
Recreational drugs, guys, just say no.
Just say no.
And the third one, start pumping in the gym.
Thing is, that gives you that boost.
And watch Jay Cutler DVDs.
Watch Jay Cutler DVDs.
And you'll get swole, and you forget. At least you feel better slowly.
Yeah. Spend your money on supplements, not drugs.
How long are we going on now, bro? An hour.
Are we going another 5-10 minutes? We do some shout-outs.
We're going to go for the shout-outs.
We've gone pretty serious this one, haven't we?
We went deep.
It's good to talk about. AJ, this is going to be a very highly watched. Yes, I saw. This is going to be a highly watched episode with guests like Jay Cutler and the rest. And it's very important that we send out a good message. So
first shout-out is my guy. It's
Oh, I love it.
Aaron Sparrenberg. You got to go down while I talk about it. We got a new producer there. He's not correctly. He's not here. This guy, look at me side next to Branch. Look at.
Wow.
Oh, go to the left.
Who's this guy?
Press him. Let him stay there. That's a beautiful picture. I met this guy in Romania. Aaron.
That's Metroflex.
He trains in Ronnie Coleman's gym.
I've trained there.
He's classic physique. Look at this.
Classic. Huge.
So when people say to me in Norway, I'm a classic physique, I say, yeah, bro, you're a classic physique.
How could you look similar?
This-
How can you look the similar size next to Branch?
Well, Branch is retired in a great shape, though.
He's still holding most of his size, mate.
But look at Aaron to the left there, bro.
Yeah, amazing.
Huh? This is a classic physique, just to show you what classic physique is. He's like probably around 6'1".
Yeah.
What would you say? Branch is very short.
Branch is 5'8".
So what would you say? 6'1"? 6?
6'1", 6'2".
Yeah. But not about that. When I met him, the energy.
Where did you meet him?
In Romania.
Oh, you met in Romania.
He
Sorry.
has
Okay.
unrivaled great charisma and energy.
Okay.
He has a good heart. He's 45.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Acts like a 20-year-old, but in a good way, of course.
That's grainy condition. Like
Strong condition. And this guy, go some other pictures. This guy, I think, will bring the heat in the future in classic.
Look at Ronnie. That's 1992 Ronnie. I bet you that, or 1990.
Yeah, but let's talk about Aaron now, because
Sorry, I'm getting excited
we
about
know
Ronnie.
Ronnie.
I get
We know
excited.
Ronnie. So this guy, he's good friends with Ronnie, though.
Yeah, you can see he's
There-
promoting his
there-
show. Rolly, picture of Rolly.
Yeah, so go to left.
He's good, isn't he?
So this is a guy who has a good heart. He's got great charisma and energy.
Yeah.
And he's something to look out for in the future.
Nice. When's he competing next?
I will talk to him in the next show. I will tell you.
Nice.
Your shout out. You go up to one of the.
Yeah, I'm gonna quit.
Not that one.
No.
Not that one. There, that's your shout out.
Johnny Shrev. This is the guy who messaged me out of the blue.
And go down so we can see this
on,
guy.
on DMs. He's a pro.
Oh,
Can you go up? Yeah, he's doing.
look at this, bro.
He's a 212. He's a 212. 4
He's
weeks out from
212.
Toronto show. Look at the legs. Fantastic legs. Seems like a really nice guy. He actually messaged me about the mental health thing.
Oh, he did.
He's I'm not. Well, I shouldn't. He's had issues or current now. I hope I'm okay saying this, Johnny. Hope you don't mind. But he reached out to me because he said he's had issues in his life. So, and he's someone who has to deal with it. But there's a guy who's see it, believe it, become it, let's get it.
Let's go, as they say.
Oh, he's another Camp Jensen. Matt Jensen.
Matt Jensen's working hard, bro.
Written by Johnny Shrev, produced by Matt Jensen and Johnny Shrev, managed by BPI Sport.
Is Matt Jensen? He's great. He's helping a lot of people now. Back to Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny. Yeah, so he's from Canada. Can you go up and just get some details on his profile?
Canadians are really booming.
There we are.
lately, by the
Mr.
way.
Canada 2017 IFBB
Oh.
Pro. So I'm assuming he's the
Gorilla
2017
Wear, Versagrips,
national Canadian champion. And he said I'm
BPI Sports.
he said I'm someone to watch out for. He says I'm one of the guys that's quietly doing my thing. And he says watch out for me because
Let's go down. Let me see someone with more picture of his physique.
yeah.
Because this is some. Ooh, wee, caramba!
good,
Look
isn't
at the
it?
guy
Get
to
the-
the left.
get the
Go to
video,
the
get the
left.
video, get the
Left,
video.
Yeah.
Yeah, get the
Let's see
video. Let's
what
show
the
this.
heat's gonna bring.
Yeah. Oh, it's just a picture, is it? Can we?
What type of producer you found, Giles? Is this? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. The production.
That's a cool graphic.
That's the intro. We should have. We have a cool intro too. So
We have a very
yeah,
cool
so
intro.
That's not something to.
Come on, get it moving.
Hardcore.
Yeah, Johnny, here we are.
Let's
Look.
see.
Yeah, fantastic. Good thickness, good condition. So this is a guy we need to follow up with the Toronto. So Johnny, make sure you keep us updated. DM us.
Oh, look at his flexing.
AJ, we'll put him on the Global Muscle Radio Instagram. We'll give him
This is
some.
a freak, isn't it?
He's awesome, isn't he? Who does he remind you of?
Let me get press there. Let me just see it. Let me see it.
Bit Jerome,
Who?
Hollywood Ferguson.
I was even better.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good, isn't he? He's good.
I don't know, but it's hard. I don't. It's
Like by Charles Tigerlet. There's me.
a good guy to look
Okay,
out for.
Yeah, thank you, Johnny. Yeah, and I wanted to give you a shout out because he was. And maybe we'll get him on. Maybe we'll get him on the show quickly if he does, does well in Toronto, or maybe we'll just get him on anyway. So
My last shout out. You have another one too.
you do yours.
Yeah, I'll do mine, and you can do
mine,
yours.
and then we'll finish off.
This is a bikini athlete from Norway.
Oh.
Her name is. What's her name again? Her name is.
Whoa!
What's her name again? Doesn't even say.
It doesn't even say a name, does it?
Bikini Pro.
Maui.
Maui.
Why would she not put a name?
You go
on
down.
Instagram?
Go down. The reason why. Go down. Go down. Go down. There. Go to the left. There. Press that one. The reason I want to give her a shout out
Yeah.
is because in Norway, we have no sponsors.
Yeah.
We have no, but the only people they do is get a T-shirt. It says "Let's go,"
Okay.
and maybe a protein tub. You know, she just got sponsored by a dragon farm. That's
farm.
Ole Christian Våge's,
Big Rummy.
and that means she's doing something right.
Yeah.
I have to be honest. I have not followed her career that much, but I really like that in Norway. It's very hard to get any recognition. Wait, relax now. She's probably half. She's mixed of something.
That's what I was going to ask.
What nationality? Let's see another picture.
I've got to say, that's like next level. That is next level beauty.
She's a very beautiful, yes, of course. Let me see a picture or something.
Wow, look at her abs. Look at the
Go to the. Where was she?
Look at her abs.
Let's see the face to the left. We want to see the face so we can guess what nationality she is. Where will she be from?
I don't want to get it wrong.
She looks like Aaliyah, the singer, the R&B singer, R. Kelly's ex-wife.
R. Kelly.
That's my. Forget about that. But anyway, where would she come from? I have no idea.
No.
But she's from. She talks Norwegian, so.
Okay.
It's like me. No, so I like seeing people in Norway.
Yeah, Norwegian. Yeah.
Getting some record.
Important.
She got us big sponsors. Dragon Farm is a big company.
It is. Yeah, it seems to have popped up.
So this is very good. I'm not sure, not much. I don't know so much about her, but I like she's getting recognition. Her hard work is paying off, and as you see, it's very exotic.
Let's get some more info on her, and maybe next time she competes, and then you maybe get on for a short while on Global Muscle Radio, because
your shout out is something we really like to support from, isn't it?
Yeah, this is Carrie Kanatase. Her name was Carrie Rapp before. Now, this is someone like, even when I started Muscle News Weekly, like, that was in March 2018, I did 38 episodes. She was on one of the first ones to always comment from day one. Really sweet. As you can see, she was. If you go down,
she's lost an epic transformation.
She lost a lot of weight.
Go down. I think it's. I saw.
They are. They're down.
Look at this. Look at this transformation. Come on, bro. Look at the transformation.
You want to find a way out to get out of a depressive hole. That's. I mean, because I'm sorry. I think if you like that,
look, I wrote. Wow, bravo. You see me? I wrote there.
But I'm saying there's someone who has gone from something to something else, and she's clearly a lot happier like that. So she's applied herself. She's disciplined.
And what I don't like, 159 likes, and you see the other girl just put her ass out getting 10,000 likes. This should be getting 100,000 likes.
She's been out on, is it American Curves magazine? She was on the front cover this month.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you just click this off and find out? American Curves, it'll be on there. Go down.
Was she holding a big sausage there in her hand? What is that?
They are American Curves. They are. Look, there. She does lots of photo shoots. She's like 6 foot tall, mate. She's tall. I actually met her and her partner. She was dressed as a superhero and he was dressed as Wolverine. Oh. I'm sorry I don't have his name in front of me. Maybe we could find his name. Her partner. Maybe there's a picture of the two of them, because I bumped into him at the Arnold Classic, and they're such sweet people, such lovely people.
Her partner,
and she competes in fig, and she's really very good.
Is that her partner to the right there? Or?
No. Go down. There's Victor Martinez. Look, she's towering over Victor.
I would just say, is that her partner, the short guy, and was Victor Martinez?
No, go down. Oh, maybe she doesn't put pictures of him up.
Maybe there. She's hiding her partner, bro, on Instagram. What's this about?
Story of my life.
Story of my life. That's a One Direction song.
We need to finish off with a song.
Yeah.
People like us singing. Oh, she's lovely. Yeah, so...
You think they like it, or you think they're trolling us?
Who?
When they say they like our singing. Are you sure they like it?
I don't care. I like singing.
Back to her. This is her time now. This is her time now.
Oh yeah. Awesome.
Very nice marketing look.
So this is someone that really is from day one, like not waiting until the show gets something where they, do you know what I mean? And they jump on and they're like, oh, can you get me on the show? She's been supporting what I've been doing with MD and all my work, and she loves the sport, and she's a good soul. I love Carrie, lovely person. So yeah, big respect.
Episode 20 is a wrap. It's not a wrap.
We're gonna talk.
It's the intro is done. We're gonna have a lot of things.
Should we wrap?
I think this episode 20, guys. Thanks for watching us. How many months have we been? 3? 4 months? How long have we been on?
20 episodes is 5 months. And then we had the break.
5 months. So 4 months.
No, we started. Chris, was it November we started? So 6 months.
Yeah, but we had a month break.
Yeah. Just before, it was between February and March when but we secured the sponsorship.
I can promise you guys, if we ever become as powerful as like a Aaron Singer man or a somebody big. We will use the power of bodybuilding to really give back and really promote with all our heart, because this is what we love to do. It's not an ego thing. It keeps us sane, semi-sane.
Yes.
What's it called? Like almost sane.
Semi.
Yeah.
Yep,
But this is what we love to do, and I hope people at home can really feel our hearts is in a good place, you know?
Yeah, we want good things for everyone. We want to see, like I said, we said from day one, this isn't about, remember Phil Heath said, he says, you guys aren't, fuck boys, clickbait, we're not about that. We're not about using that athlete on there to make them feel uncomfortable, to get stupid clickbait videos, putting them on the spot. Like, how many of the top names have said at the end and message me and you and say, I want to come on again. Anytime you guys, because we look after them, we show them the respect they deserve, and that's what it's about. And at the same time, we're both having a great time.
I don't think Sean Roden is happy with us.
Well, I don't know. Well, we're just, the thing is, if you speak with truth and with honesty, and it comes from a good place, and you don't have an agenda, I don't see how people can genuinely dislike you for that.
I don't think Sean Roden is happy with us.
Well, the door is open, and I will always extend an invitation to Sean. We actually shook on him coming on at the
So he shook your hand, saying he's going to come on the
he
show.
said, I'll come on for you. I'd love to come on, brother. And he shook my hand, looked me in the eye, and I said,
then
okay.
he hasn't responded later. Huh?
Yeah, and he responded, well, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. So
we're damn happy we got Jay.
Yes!
Jay Cutler.
Shit. We're really ticking off the big names now, aren't we? The thing is, obviously, if we watch this show, we don't just have the big names on. We have the new names, the up-and-comers, people who've just turned pro.
I'm going to hold over now because he's got Cutler Nutrition now. He's not the old one. But, guys,
that's a cool poster.
If you ever want to impress girls at home, put this in the bedroom.
Good bed sheets.
Gonna get you you're gonna get treated well that night. Because this is how you want to look like.
Yes.
And we out.
Yes, okay, well, fantastic. Yeah, so
there we go.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, well, thank you for, obviously we're going to be right back after the break with our first special guest, Jay Cutler, and
Jason.
AJ. That's his name.
Are you sure about that?
His name is Jason.
Are you sure about that?
Jason.
I just thought you were going to say Jason Genova there for a moment. I was like, what are you talking about? So his name is Jason.
Don't finish the intro by trolling.
His name is Jason Cutler.
Jason Cutler.
I know everything about everything. I didn't know that. Now I learned something
He's not
today.
going to be called Jay, is he? Jay's an abbreviation. Okay, what's Flex Lewis's real name? He's not born. He wasn't.
Flex Nard? I don't know.
Flex what? His name is James.
That's a nice name.
James. Come on, James. What about Flex Wheeler? What's his real name?
Kenneth.
Yeah. What's cooler, Flex or Kenneth?
Flex.
Yeah. My name's actually Giles, not Tiger.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right, okay, we better wrap this up and come back right after the break with Jason Cutler. And we are out. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle Radio here at the Pump Media Studios, joined by my co-host AJ, all the way from Norway. And we have a very special guest for episode 20. We have
Jay Cutler.
Yeah!
Man.
Jay.
Thanks for being on, Jay. Thanks for being on.
That has to be the most exciting introduction I've had all year.
Oh, you deserve it, man. You deserve it. This is our 20th episode, Jay. So we're so glad we got you for this one because this is a bit of a milestone for us. So so thank you for coming on. We truly appreciate it, mate.
Of course, man. Anything for you guys.
Yep.
Anything for AJ to come all the way from Norway. You know, I have an attorney that lives in Norway, and are you guys still under snow over there? That's the question.
I'm helping a guy in the gym that's been to your house from Norway. Maybe this is the person we're talking about. He's doing men's physique now. And
a young kid.
Yes.
Yeah, he took a picture with me at my house.
Yeah.
And he's very good. He's good, man. He came here when he was very young.
Yeah, he's very good. He just won the overall at the men's physique class in Norway.
Yeah, Herman, his name is, right?
Herman Laria, that's his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some exciting news. Everybody want to know what you're going to do this Olympia. You're the official spokesperson. Ambassador. Tell us more about that, because that's some big news.
Yeah, listen, it's an honor. I mean, I've obviously, I've been in Las Vegas for 17 years, and I came here and competed the first time when the Olympia was held here in '99, and, fighting for that title, trying to battle the Ronnie days, and of course, carrying that title and handing it over to, a couple of great champions, including, 7-time Mr. Olympia, Phil Heath. It's, it's awesome to be able to now be the guy that kind of stands in the forefront and kind of is the guy that handles a lot of the media and really get the hype out there that the show's, it's a great production. We're just trying to carry the tradition. And I know a lot of changes have been made recently with people behind the scenes. So we're really trying to just bring more attention to it, awareness. And as you know, I mean, it's a little difficult because a lot of the guys are not in the United States and they're training in different regions and they're hidden. We used to have a lot of magazine coverage that's non-existent now, and now everything's gone to the digital side, and people like yourselves are giving the opportunity. But, sometimes getting these guys to talk a little bit and hype up a little bit, it's a little difficult. So we really just what I really want to try to do is just bring more attention and get these guys a little more involved so we can really try to expand this thing and have an awesome show in September, which I'm sure it will be. But it's just really cool that they named me as kind of the guy I'll be walking the show and, going around and just representing the Mr. Olympia brand, which is we want people to have experience. That's the main thing the weekend is an experience. It's not just, the show happens, right? We get the expo and all the cool things that are happening. And I think the big plan is 2020 when, they bring in a lot more activities that will make the thing more exciting.
Like what?
Well, I think what the experience, like I talked about, going to these expos, we have to get more audience there. We have to get more people involved in the bodybuilding arena. And unfortunately, we're limited with the sport of bodybuilding. So bringing in, like you see the Arnold Classic Expo, if you ever walk through there, you see so many different types of sporting events and activities to bring more people aware. And of course, that's inside the bodybuilding arena, the Mr. Olympia name. So I think really that's what's going to be the big thing, getting more activities involved in the expo and just bringing more attention to it, because we're just limiting it, just having strictly a bodybuilding event that people aren't traveling to as much. And I believe a lot of people do want to travel to Las Vegas, but it's quite difficult. I mean, even for someone like yourself that comes all the way from Norway, it can get expensive. So we want the experience to be more for people, because I feel, I mean, you see these Arnold, I mean, they have these strongmans in the middle of the shows and they do, all kinds of acts and stuff like that. I mean, that's really how the production, I think, needs to be for this event, because it is the biggest event in the world, for fitness.
So you're trying to make it a little bit like the Arnold, where they have the strongman and they have the acts on, and so you're helping the athletes and the organizers to help promote the overall Olympia brand. Is that correct?
Overall, Olympia, just, I really just want to put a positive thing, because look, how much has this done for me, guys? I mean, this title meant so much to me. You saw me work for it for so many years. Yeah. It was very elusive for me. It changed my life. I can tell you, even being a guy that was, runner-up, 5 times to the same guy, which was frustrating as hell, by the way. It was still, when I won that title, it propelled me that much further. And you see, it still carries me. I've been retired for 6 years. If we really look at the math, I haven't won the Mr. Olympia in 9 years, which is just crazy for me, because I'm busier than I've ever been, and I'm traveling around the world, and I'm still respected as one of the guys. I mean, we talk about ambassadors, but
one of the greatest guys.
Everyone that wins this thing is, considered, okay, I'm the ambassador of bodybuilding, but there's other guys. I was an ambassador long before I won the Mr. Olympia. Yeah. We want to represent, and we want to carry that title, as a professional bodybuilder in many, many different arenas. And the cultures they've advanced so much now. It's getting so much bigger, especially internationally, we're getting more. I mean, you talk about the young kid competing in men's physique. There's so many new divisions now, so they can't strictly be, oh, well, Jay Cutler is the bodybuilding ambassador. There's got to be ambassadors for every division and representation for those people. But we really need to bring the awareness and do the media coverage, do the media interviews, and really let people understand how this process is and what it takes, what the lifestyle is, and really put a positive spin on it, because I can honestly, like, you hear so much negativity, but there's so many positive things that working out and doing the things that we do on a daily basis that can be very, very healthy, and it can be really kind of a pattern which will help you and further your things that you want to do in life. It structures your life in certain ways. And that's what I've experienced through my 27 years of bodybuilding.
27 years. So did the idea come around from a meeting with Dan Solomon, was it? Or did you have lunch and just say, look, let's think of some ideas to really boost the Olympia now Dan Solomon has stepped in over Robin Chang?
I think, I've always had a great relationship with everyone around, even Robin Chang. I've known Robin since day one.
Great guy.
And, I think everyone has different visions on what they want to do, right? So, I've had a great relationship with Dan, being on the show many, many times. He sees what I'm doing every week. He follows it. And he just kind of, he got this position. He called me up right away and he said, listen, we really like to work somehow with you. I know I always talked about doing promotions for the event. And I was even involved even after I lost that title, because, the news media and all those kind of channels the guys weren't necessarily available because they roll into Vegas and the local coverage and whatever not. I think you have to build up the hype. So my idea is really to do kind of a PR press tour and kind of get the hype going for early on as we start now, right? Yeah. As we lead into the Mr. Olympia. That's going to be ideal to bring that awareness and, get the ticket sales up to the point where I want to have the most successful one. I believe, the sponsorship's up from what it's ever been, from my understanding. Oh. And it's just now about, we're now into May. And we really need that. Really, when June comes, that's when you really start hyping, because these guys start buckling down. They start training for the event, and then people start talking about, oh, we're going to make the trip to Las Vegas. I mean, people don't book usually. I mean, most people don't book the trip a year in advance, but the next few months is when they really start planning their Vegas excursion.
Well, it helps that you live in Las Vegas as well, doesn't it?
It helps.
It does. No, it does. It's
obviously, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's helps a lot.
It is a local event, but listen, it's just an honor for me to be, the first guy to do this, and and I obviously have a relationship with a lot of the guys, and it's just kind of deciding who's going to compete in this show, right? We're hearing different things, and I think really that's the big question mark. I was in Pittsburgh this past weekend, and obviously there's a lot of talk of that event, the guest posers, but we didn't even have necessarily all the guys. Rami wasn't there. Phil Heath was absent, but most of the other guys were. And then, of course, there's a talk that Sean Roden wasn't in necessarily the best shape to defend the title, but we know how that kind of goes. I mean, that's nothing new with him. But I mean, Brandon Curry's super impressive there. Dexter Jackson still unbelievably knocking at the door.
I was shocked today. He still looks amazing, man.
I want to ask one thing, Jay. You're one of the greatest representative ever to hold the Mr. Olympia title. On Jay Cutler TV, your great YouTube channel, by the way, that we actually follow, YouTube Jay Cutler. Sean Roden, before this Olympia, said that he was not impressed by Phil Heath as a representative for the title. Are you impressed with what Sean Roden is doing in his reign as Mr. Olympia?
No. I'm not, and that's not an insult to Sean, and Phil. I'm sure Phil's kind of sitting back and saying, when he lost that title, and I know how passionate Phil is, right? We're great friends for a lot of years, and that guy is just, he has hit Mr. Olympia from the day I saw him. I mean, before he was anything, and I honestly, he had the physique, but I think more importantly, he had the mindset. When I had the conversation, that's when I realized this guy is going to be a great, if not one of the greatest. We talk about representation of the title, and Lee Haney was awesome.
Yeah.
Dorian Yates had his style. Ronnie Coleman had his. I hate to just sit and say, well, you're the greatest ambassador representative. That's not necessarily true because people have opinions on that, right? It's an opinion thing. But I think, Sean, he did travel. He did do a lot of things, but I'm not necessarily sure he did what he possibly could to really, really help himself to be, have people that he is now the title holder. I think he's been a little absent from, doing the extra media and traveling to certain events that really make a difference in, Mr. Olympia status. But listen, we all do things our own way. I mean, he has a family. I can speak very selfishly. I mean, I didn't have children. I didn't. Yeah. I just worked and traveled. It was a different era when I won the Mr. Olympia also. I mean, there was a lot of hype around it. I beat a guy that was unbeatable. It was never supposed to happen according to most, and it did, and the magazine still existed. So if you don't have a person that's going to help you with all those kind of things, it's very hard to do it as an individual because we talk about bodybuilding individually all the time. It's not necessarily that. But if I was Sean, I mean, listen, the guy took all the year off. Maybe that's what he does, but I love training too much. There is no way I can stay out of the gym for more than 2 weeks at a time. Yeah. And I think, him showing up at Pittsburgh and posing with all the top guys and representing Mr. Olympia. Listen, Sean does what he does, but he probably shouldn't have made that decision to stand on the stage and look the way he did, in my opinion, because it's kind of, everyone kind of misses the point. Well, leave Sean alone. That's what he does. But, you're representing the best bodybuilder in the world. And when you show up and you take your clothes off and you look the worst of everyone in that lineup, what does that speak for the Mr. Olympia title? And that's what I think is people are kind of missing. And I'm not trying to put Sean down or anything like that, but you have to make basic decisions that are smart business decisions and smart representation decisions. And that was not one that happened this past weekend.
Jay, couldn't you have said no? Because you saw Flex Lewis, you saw Branch Warren. I mean, they were not there with their tops off, but they were there present. They were there representing themselves. They were representing the sport. So couldn't have Sean just said, "Look, I'll turn up, but I'm still Mr. Olympia, but I'm not gonna come out in my baseball cap and my shoes." And I'm because it was really, you could tell he didn't want to be there on stage. He didn't want to be there, and it was like you could see. But I'm sure you can't force someone to do that. Couldn't you have just said, "No, it's probably not a good idea for me to do this"?
What woulda, coulda, whatever. We say that, but listen, you're dealing with the president of the NPC IFBB, right? Respectful, probably the most respected man in our business. So this guy brings you out to your event, okay? You're scheduled all year. You have to know, okay, I'm going to get up there and, what Mr. Olympia has not gone to Pittsburgh and posed 4 months from the Mr. Olympia. 5 months, whatever it is. You have to know, so you have to prepare, and that word needs to be said when you realize a month or two prior to that you're not going to be in the best shape. So, yes, he should have spoke up and said, "Listen, I don't feel capable." Flex Lewis looks amazing. He didn't get up there and pose. He was in front.
This is my point, Jay. This is my point because, like, you even can see Branch still holds a decent amount of size and condition. Flex just looks incredible all year round. It's amazing. So why did they make that decision? Because Flex is the 212 Olympia champion, 7-time, and then you had Sean Roden as Mr. Olympia. Why did he not just say, "Look, this is not a good look for me right now. This is not good for the Mr. Olympia title as a representative. Maybe I should just shake some hands and kiss some babies"?
I wish I could speak for him, but unfortunately, I left early. I mean, these are conversations I'd love to ask him too. But if you're not ready to stand up there and be with the elite guys at this far out from the competition, I definitely would have done it. Wouldn't have done it. You know what I'm saying? So. That's where it kind of all starts. And listen, there's been some backlash. Obviously, guys are coming to bat for him. Listen, I love Sean, and I think it was just a poor decision at this point because it really doesn't start the hype train very strong for him.
Yeah.
And you guys as media people, what's your take on it? I think you agree with what I'm saying, correct?
Exactly what you said. we've said when we saw it. It's not about how he looks. Is that, as you said, as a representative, as a Mr. Olympia title holder, we know how Roland looks in the offseason. He's not as impressive as some of the other guys, but he should have done, as we said, said like.
I mean, think about Kevin Navrone. Kevin Navrone had looked like me in the off-season, looked like a normal, like an athletic guy, and then bam, 15, 16 weeks later, he turned up 240, 250 shredded. You know, you never saw Kevin Navrone unless he was. The only guest posings I ever saw Kevin Navrone were maybe 4 or 5 weeks out. But the thing is, Sean Roden is a mass monster. When yourself or Ronnie or Dorian, you know, even when you're full on off season, you're still 300 pounds. And that is something you can get away with. When you're, I don't know what he was weighing, 240, 250, you know, and he
says he's 275.
I don't believe that.
Says he's which he could be. I mean, it's not like I don't think he's super small. I mean, I know there's a lot of criticism, but listen, the guy's not a mass. I mean, you say mass monster. Rolly Winkler is a mass monster.
Oh, yes.
I don't even consider Brandon Curry a mass monster, even though he looked pretty large up there, right?
Yeah.
Big Ronnie is a mass monster. Bonnick, Dexter Jackson. I would put Sean in all that field of guys, because all you hear about is, bodybuilding's back to aesthetics after Sean wins. I heard the same thing with Dexter Jackson when he won in 08.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I came back in 09, and I was a shredded mass monster. Right? So
do the quad stomp. Do the quad stomp.
And listen, I wasn't the prettiest. I out-muscled guys to win competitions. I may not have been everyone's favorite physique of all time, but you know what? I represented the best of my ability to look the way I could on stage.
What was your favorite look of all time for your personal self?
Look at that cover sitting right
this guy.
I love 2001 too, man.
Guys, I was at the 2001 Olympia.
Listen, 2001, but AJ, that's so far back, man.
AJ, sorry,
Jay, you know what I did
I've got AJ and a J, yeah?
in 2001 when I saw you on stage, Jay. I'm half black and half white. I have curly hair. I straightened my hair out. I got the Jay Cutler hair because of the 2001. It was a fabulous moment.
How old were you, AJ? 6 years old back then?
I was like 14 or whatever it was. But it was epic, man. Jay, I think you should have beat Ronnie Coleman that day, shouldn't you?
You know what? Listen, by the judges' scorecards, I should have won that show because I was ahead by 6 points after prejudging, and he gained like 9 points in the finals to come back and beat me. And that's before the posing round counted, remember?
I'm not going to comment on this one.
From the front I won the show. From the back he won. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Giles is a Ronnie Coleman fan.
I don't want to press click off and we'll lose him. So no, but
there's nothing wrong with that. But listen, those were great.
Yeah,
those
fantastic
are some
Olympia
days. You know, bodybuilding was awesome then. I think it was some of the greatest times of bodybuilding, probably in our memories, right? Those were the years that were like, man, you know, when you had two guys back to back every year. I mean, we started to see it with Phil and Kai, and then Kai bails out. People still have this dream that Kai Greene's going to come back and compete. I don't see it happening. I mean, he's a year younger than me. I mean, it's getting to that point. I mean, people still think that I'm going to come back and compete, but that's not really my goal at this point.
That 2001 Olympia was my first ever Olympia I went to. I went as a fan. And it was just, that was the year, because you took 8th place the year before. And then I was at the British Grand Prix in 2000 when you took second to Ronnie. Now, I think Kerry Case told me, I think I was sat in the front row and he said, watch out for Jay Cutler. I said, Jay, he's good. He's not even top 6 Olympia. And he says, no, he notices what he said. He says, Giles, he's dropped 14 pounds from the Olympia, because Jay got 8th at the 2000 Olympia. Yeah. And then he dropped, Kerry said you dropped 14 pounds, and then you turned up and you literally, that was when Ronnie was, that was his 3rd Olympia. And I tell you what, that was when it wasn't the 2001 Olympia where Jay stepped up, it was the 2000 British Grand Prix, and I was there.
What did you do when you went home that day after you lost that one? Because you thought you were going to win it probably when they announced you, didn't you? You thought you were going to win it.
I don't know if I thought I was going to win it, because I knew that, listen, Ronnie was still, that was before he really, really got bigger, but he still was huge, right? I mean, 2000 Olympia was one of his best looks. I mean, he was huge and he was hard and everything else, but I think, I was just so satisfied with, man, I can't believe I'm second to my idol, Ronnie Coleman, right? And that's why you see my reaction, whether I won or lost ever. It was never really different. But, just to go back to that British Grand Prix, that's when I first realized I could beat this guy. When I stood next to him and no one showed up, Giles, like it was just me and Ronnie that came on that tour.
Yes.
Like all the guys in between from first to when I placed 8th at the show didn't go.
I've got Jay, I've got really good In fact, I think I did. I saw you at the 2001 Olympia and I gave you the photos from that 2000 British Grand Prix. I went to Ronnie, I went to Jay, I went to Marcus Rule, and I gave them the photos. I had them blown up. And I remember Jay saying, he said, what's this from? I said, the 2000 British Grand Prix. And he's like, oh, thank you, these are great. And he said, what do you want me to do? Sign them? And I said, no, they're for you. They're for you. So he's probably got them up on his wall somewhere.
The key to that physique was the midsection. If you remember, very sunken abs. And when my abs were sunken like the 01 AJ, like you talk about, like that's when my physique really, really, because I obviously have a wider waist, right? So when I had that really sunken midsection, it accentuates everything else with the shoulders and then the quads and all that stuff. So, just from the backside, I just wasn't the same bodybuilder as I was from the front. And that's where 09 made a huge difference, because for the first time I was really, really, from the backside, it was pretty comparable to the front.
Disagree.
I was eating Ezekiel bread.
Disagree. Listen, 2005 Olympia, because it was for those years that Jay was up against Ronnie. It was always like from the front, side good, and then the back. Ronnie just kind of took everyone apart. But if you remember the battle for Olympia that year, because the prejudging footage wasn't put on the Olympia DVD, but on the battle for the Olympia, right at the end of the DVD, you see the comparisons where just Jay and Ronnie are brought out, and that was I think Jay was I think the closest I think I'd ever seen, not even 2001, was 2005, because that's when you turned to the back, and I remember watching thinking, shit, he really has caught up with Ronnie from the back, which I think a lot of people just assumed it was never going to happen because Ronnie was so far ahead. But that Olympia, that was where I felt not even 2006 when you won, I felt that was when you stepped up.
Yeah, but you know what, though, guys? That's when Ronnie started to fade. So was it more that Ronnie was fading, or I don't think he
was fading in 2005.
He was. I thought for sure I won that show, and that was the most disappointing loss of them all, because I truly thought I had him on the ropes, because for the first time my back was tight enough.
It's incredible.
And the back double bicep was close enough, but listen, it went the way it did. I'm very thankful for all my seconds, and of course, I love those first places. You can see 4 of them sitting behind.
I love it. I love the way you just angled it slightly just to make sure.
I wish I could pan around the whole office. But
wow!
I do have. I don't know if you can see this or not. You can see that. See that picture right there? That's of my last Olympia. That was 2013, and I'm on the end, yelling to the crowd that I do.
That was a great marketing thing. You remember with the comeback, and I love Dave Burley. Dave Burley was like Mad Max was cool filming everything in your house. You had that maid rubbing your back. It was just glorious, bro. It was something else.
Good days, man.
And congratulations on your new, very beautiful girlfriend, by the way.
Yes. She's here somewhere. She was hooking up the Skype here because we get signed off. Oh, she's here somewhere. She's up here, smile. Angie.
Hi.
Hello, Angie. Hi, Angie.
She doesn't want to be on the camera at 8:30 in the morning.
Okay.
I flew back late last night. I didn't go to bed till about 3 in the morning.
Yeah. So. How was your show? You had a J Classic. What's it called? Jay Cutler's.
I had 2 in a row. I had Vegas. It's Capone right here. You can see
there he is.
He doesn't leave my lap, but. We had the Jay Cutler Classic in Vegas. It was, I think, one of our record breakers. That was a couple weeks ago. And then I had the Boston event, the Jay Cutler Classic, which was very successful. This past weekend, I traveled to Pittsburgh, and then I was in South Carolina for another event. And I went to some manufacturing for my product line yesterday, and now I'm back in Vegas for 3 weeks, which is a record for me, by the way. No body power this weekend. So
okay. Now, that leads on nicely to what we want to talk about next. Because, we were messaging back and forth, you and I, about coming on, and you said, well, Monday I've got to fly out to my manufacturers. You've obviously got a new supplement line. Please tell us about that.
Yeah.
So I relaunched and revamped, repackaged, reformulated the Cutler Nutrition brand, which actually is available now in the UK. This is where you're shooting this stuff, right? In the UK right now?
Yep.
Yeah, so A-List Nutrition is doing my distribution over there, and actually the product just landed this morning. I've been back and forth on WhatsApp.
Fantastic.
So I am doing. I launched the new brand. It's solely me. As you know, I had a partnership with another brand for many years, and I basically took control of everything and relaunched the brand under different packaging and all new formulations. And I've been working on that consistently. If you follow my Instagram and all my YouTube and all those things, you'll see that I'm working extremely hard to launch all the new products and more up-to-date stuff, up-to-date formulas. Everything is all new and innovative, and it's just it's a cool process, man. I'm really excited about it, and that gives me something else to carry the Cutler name, which is cool.
Which products are you most proud about in that series? If you can only use two, what would it be?
I use the Branch Chain Essential Amino product. I think that's something that everyone should use, especially if not eating enough, which is someone like me now. I have a non-stim pre-workout called Amplify, which is more of a pump formula, and I've always thrived on, you have to go to the gym. Your goal is to get a pump, right? That's how we kind of judge how we're getting, through our workouts. And I'm not a strength guy, although I do have, I have my test booster, and I mean, I'm launching, and I'm just actually, when I was starting here, I was drinking my nootropic, which is a clarity product.
Oh, you got a nootropic?
Instead of drinking coffee or
this, I think this is where a lot of companies are catching on to this nootropic thing.
Can we shoot the bottle? Can we see the bottle?
Jay will explain.
Well, okay.
The bottle's not here. It's an empty glass because I just.
I love the packaging.
That's why I missed your call, but. Well, I'll have Angie grab the bottle, but it's just a bottle that says Cutler Nutrition Nootropic on it.
And I like a very nice test label.
As what I was doing yesterday, I was actually trying some different ingredients, and I sat at manufacturing all day yesterday. So it's kind of nice. I was in North Carolina, which was close to, where I was in South Carolina. I get to spend some time down there, which is nice. But glad to be back in Vegas, and I have a busy day today. So this is the nootropic. This is what it looks like. This is what a test bottle looks like. Okay. It says one scoop, one serving. Oh, this is going to be a capsule. This is going to be a capsule, so it doesn't taste so good if you guys ever open a capsule.
Yeah. Have you ever tried pure caffeine or pure arginine? It's horrible.
It's not so good to taste. But listen, I'm launching the protein soon, and I know a lot of guys have product lines, and there's a lot of different brands out there, but I want to do something and represent my name like it really, like it has, through my whole career. So I'm super excited.
Jay, I think the secret, because I've been involved in many different supplement lines over the last 20 years, I think the secret to that kind of success of that is to be as involved and have, you're flying out. You're not having a partner saying, okay, we're bringing this out next week, and you're just going, okay, just stick my name on it, and we'll split the money or whatever. You're actually flying out to the manufacturers, and you're working on the products yourself, and I think it makes all the difference, because you can be the biggest names in the world, but if you're not really hands-on,
like many of them are,
and that's why a lot of them fall by the wayside. But the ones that do succeed are the ones like Jay that are absolutely hands-on on every single. Because Jay's a very good businessman, so it makes sense for him to really focus and control it himself.
I've hand tested every product. If you follow my media, you see I've gone through sample after sample after sample. I mean, I'm still testing this. I've been testing this for 2 weeks, so this is like my third version of this that I want it absolutely perfect. Just like the protein I just approved. It probably took me 3 months to approve the protein, probably 15 different samples to decide, okay, the two launch flavors I want to do. And, I'm excited about that. It's an isolate protein. So
fantastic. Sounds exciting.
We talked to Bob Ciccarello yesterday. He thought Kai Greene should not get a special invite. He thought it was disrespectful to the other guys. What's your, as a four-time Mr. Olympia champion, what's your opinion on this? Do you think it's okay for him to get a special invite, or what do you think? What's your opinion about this?
I don't think so. I don't think Kai Greene should get a special invitation. He's refused it, I believe, twice already. They act like they need Kai Greene to do this show. There's a lot of other guys that are big names that can bring a lot more awareness to this show. he has obviously some sort of issue with the organization that puts on the event from my understanding. And, you kind of know, I mean, what are you going to do? Say, hey, we want to give you a special invitation. I mean, if they paid him, he might show up because in the end, I mean, they're all fighting for one big prize, right? I mean, the big question mark, I mean, is Phil Heath, right?
Yeah.
If you ask me, can Phil Heath come back and win the show? Absolutely. Like Phil Heath, I mean, I would love to see Phil Heath do what I did in 09 and just come back and just listen. Phil Heath was slightly off. Okay. He had a little bit of distension, which I think was spoken about the year prior. So if he didn't fix it, he needed to get that area a little more fine-tuned. And that's all it's going to take for Phil Heath. Phil Heath doesn't have to change one thing. He was in fantastic shape.
100%.
Other than the midsection. He can come back and win this show, collect $400K, and tie the record. And that's, I mean, shoot, I wish I was 42 years old. I wish I'd be back on that stage and back training.
I would love to see Phil do a 2009 or a 2003 Ronnie. 2009 Jay, 2003 Ronnie, 1993 Dorian. Those were the ones where, that was, I think that 2009 Olympia you did was probably one of the best. I can't even call it a comeback because you competed the year before, but that way you came back was just one of the greatest, I think, Olympia stories. So I would love, because we're big Phil Heath fans. I would love to see Phil do that. It would be. I mean, he's capable.
Maybe he's just over it. I don't know. I mean, you guys have had him on the show. The fans really. He's still super popular. He's traveling this year, which is great. I did see him at FIBO, and the fans were happy to see him. I know he's going to Body Power. I saw it advertised. So he's out there, and I think I don't know if he's using that as fire to say, okay, maybe. Should I make the decision and come back? He's got all the time in the world. Phil Heath can get ready for that Olympia in 8 weeks and be his absolute best. I've watched transformation. So, let's see. Maybe he'll surprise everyone and pop in there and really shake it up.
What do you think he's going to do then? What's your gut feeling that he does?
I think he sits. I mean, I don't know what his health issue is. I mean, he said he did have that hernia issue. But I think mentally you have to be prepared to be like, I just love to know what his mindset's after seeing these guys pose this weekend, because I know that was a big motivational factor. I remember leaving Pittsburgh every year and being like, okay, game on, right?
Yeah.
So if any of those guys aren't in that mindset, then they got problems, right? Yeah. The question mark's Rami. I feel Rami won't compete this year at all.
I said that.
I don't think he's going to do Tampa.
I said that.
I don't think Dexter Jackson actually goes into Tampa and competes for some reason. I don't know. I know we've been talking about that, but he's qualified for life, right? So I don't know if he will or not. I mean, he's training in California. He's training hard. Maybe he doesn't want to get off that. Yeah. He's making great progress. You see his training videos. He's out there. They're going full tilt. So. There's a lot of question marks what's going on, but I think Phil sits. I think Phil, but the longer you sit, the harder it is to come back. And we speak from experience, right?
Yeah.
Sitting out 12 and coming back in 13, it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. And looking at the mirror, I thought I was much better than I looked when I got on stage.
Right.
You start to really lose sight of what it really is to be that Mr. Olympia and have that density and. You have to be in it in training. That's what you've seen with Dexter. He hasn't fallen off. He stayed consistent over the years. Even if he skipped one show or another, he's been constantly training, and that density has stayed.
It's funny with Dexter because I remember in 2012, and he took 5th at the Arnold Classic, and everyone was like, yeah, Dexter's been around, well, at that point, 2012, been around 13 years. That's a good career. He is now starting to drop off. Then he comes back in 2013, and then he did the Masters Olympia. I saw that in Miami. I was there. And it's like he just started coming back up, and he's just managed to maintain this incredible, because if you remember, it was the same Olympia you did, the 1999 Olympia. That was his first Olympia. 20 years. I mean, a good pro career is what, Jay, 10 years?
I mean, listen, I went way longer than I should have. I mean, meaning like on like textbook, okay, this should be a career. I mean, look at, Flex Wheeler, Kevin Levrone, even let's not count the comeback, right? you know, this 10 years is great as a pro. I mean, if you can do 10 years, but to do how many years is it? 20 years? Is Dexter Jackson
99 was his first. 1999 Arnold Classic was his first pro show.
Yeah, we actually came on the scene together, him and I, pretty much. I mean, I came in 98, but we were on that stage together. I believe I beat him there, and then he beat me at the Mr. Olympia later.
Yeah.
And he's been to be in. I think he's won. How many shows has he competed in? Like 80 shows, and he's been top 5 in like 73 of the 80. That is absolutely. Dexter Jackson will go down as like top 3 greatest bodybuilders of all time.
Top 3?
I believe top 3. No one will ever have the career that Dexter Jackson. There's no way. There is absolutely no way that someone will be. That guy he has the biggest accolades in this business, and let's not like 8 Olympias, 7, whatever, 6. That guy, he's won 1, but man, to be top 5 in 70-something shows or whatever it is insane.
That's incredible.
Victor Martinez also is still keep going though.
I mean, what did you think about Victor's placing at the Arnold?
He's my age. You know what?
Yeah.
Victor had time away though. Remember, he
looked good at the Arnold. I don't get why he was last call out. I was there.
He did look good, but the problem is you know, as you get older, that you know they look at that, and of course that's in the mindset. But you know, he can still improve. It just really depends on where his heart is and what shows he does. I mean, he's going to the best show besides the Mr. Olympia Arnold Classic, right? That's tough to do.
Yeah.
So I think that's another thing we talk about, making the right and wrong decisions. I think really, you know, New York should be where he should have stepped on stage at the New York Pro, where he's got the home crowd advantage, right? I think that would have been a great show for him. I mean, instead of jumping in such a big one.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen with Flex Lewis's future?
He's said he's gonna throw his hat into the open field.
Do you think he's going to come back?
Listen, I don't know his life. Like he seems to have a very good
he's doing
balance.
Well. He's doing well.
Good balance, and you know he's financed well. He seems to, but you know he's training awful hard, guys. I don't know what's going. You know,
yeah, this is what I'm conflicted with, Jay. He's kind of looking like he would have looked very, very part of at Pittsburgh. He would have looked very, very good. I think him and Brandon maybe might have looked the best up there. So, but like
Bonac looked good.
Bonac looked fantastic, and Rolly.
But I think Flex could compete this year and be a top 6 guy.
Wow.
In the open.
Maybe he should do Tampa.
Nah, he would. You know, and honestly, you know, Flex, he can be in shape in 4 weeks or 5 weeks. I mean, he's in striking distance, right? He will do another show. I think he'll do another show because he's going to miss it. He's too young. He's 34.
He's still young.
He's too young to walk away. Yeah. He enjoys it too much. Listen, it all comes down to passion, and you know that. That's another thing with Phil Heath. I mean, what's his mindset? Does he still love bodybuilding? That's the big question, right? Because if you don't love it, then you're out. I mean, you just can't do it. I mean, you saw Coleman go until he just couldn't go anymore. He loved it, right?
Yeah. I
loved it too, but there comes a point where business or outside life takes over from what you want to do. We all have transitions that we go through. So I think Flex competes. I wish I would have seen him this year. It'd be awesome to see a guy from 212 transition right over to open in the same, you know, basically the consecutive year.
Yeah, William Bonac was very successful from moving up from the 212 to the open. Now, I spoke to Flex at the press conference last year at the the Superstar Seminar on the Sunday, and I said, Flex, I've got a figure in my head of what I think you would look your best at on stage, because people are saying, oh, he needs to be 230, 240, and I'm like, I don't think he would look good. I don't think he could get that big and actually retain those lines and that physique. And I had 225 in my head, and he just replied, and he went 226. He said, Giles, when I'm at 226, he says, I didn't expect him to look as good as he did at 212 at the last Olympia. I didn't think he could look that good, that impressive as a 212. So to see a 226 Flex Lewis, I honestly, I'm with you. I think I believe he's a top 6 Olympia guy.
But can a guy who's weighing 225 pounds win a Mr. Olympia contest?
Well, Bonnick's only 230, 240.
I'm asking Jay Cutler what his opinion on. Do you think a guy weighing 225 pounds can win the Mr. Olympia contest in year 2020? Is that possible?
Well, Dexter Jackson did it. I think I don't know how much did Dexter Jackson weigh when
he said he was 235 or something.
They fib.
Do you believe it?
No. Okay.
No. Well,
let's put it this way: Dexter's not going to come on your show now.
Oh, no, we love Dexter. We love Dexter. No, but Dexter doesn't need to be.
I don't know. I mean, I always said they should have weigh-ins at the Mr. Olympia just so we stop talking about it. Can Bonnick win the Mr. Olympia? Is basically the question you're asking me. Very, very difficult for him to. I mean, he's won the Arnold. He's right there knocking at the door, but he hasn't been second yet, right? Third was his best placing.
I had him second.
Third was his best placing.
I had him second.
I think, you know what? The problem with Bonnick is, he has everything, the front double bicep, right? It's the first pose, and that's probably his weakest shot, right? With the V-tape.
Disagree. Disagree. I disagree. I think it's his front lat spread. That's the only one that doesn't look good in.
Yeah, it's just, I think, he's got a shorter torso, so I think that affects him a little bit, But listen, if every guy's off, I mean, anything can happen. Flex Lewis can beat Big Ramy, in my opinion, if Big Ramy's not in shape. And here's a guy that has a ton more muscle, right? I think the only downfall Flex may run into is when he turns around from the back. The V-taper and I think his back double bicep, he can beat a lot of these guys, but the lat spread may have a couple issues with, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen Flex at the 2011 Arnold Europe. I saw him at the 2012 Mr. Europe. I was there at those two shows when he jumped into the Open and he beat some good names. And he was against Rowley, he was against Tony Freeman, Robert Piotrkowicz, Ronnie Raquel. And he was only, because I asked Neil Hill, I said, what did he weigh? And he said, Charles, he was 206. That was, I mean, obviously he's a lot bigger now, but yeah.
As a fan of the sport, is there any way that Jay Cutler and Phil Heath can find a way back together again and make videos together? And
that'd be cool.
I think we're just in different places now. I think, like I talked about the transition of things, we're both busy, right? And we have obviously different probably mindsets on the business. And, we did do some pretty cool stuff with FST. And, he used to come to Vegas and train with me. But, Phil Heath became his own guy, right? He was kind of like under me a little bit, meaning – he was eager to learn. And then finally, I remember even we had this talk and I said, listen, man, you establish yourself like as Phil Heath, right? And don't talk about, being with, Jay this or that, keep my name out of the mix and really become your own guy. And he did that. And he did it, he did it his own way. And, 7 wins at the Mr. Olympia, pretty amazing. But, it's kind of what you do after. I mean, it's really up to him if he's going to stay in the business or, I mean, we still see Leigh Haney out there, being actively involved. I mean, Dorian's to some extent is and isn't, right? He's still at a lot of events and kind of found his own little path. Ronnie's still super active, even in the condition that he's in. So, listen, I would just love to see Phil stay active in the business and motivate people because you don't understand. We talk about winning Olympia titles and all the great achievements. I can I'm looking around my office at all my stuff that's hanging here. But the best gift we ever can receive is being a motivational factor for people out there that get depressed or have doubts in themselves. It's a self-esteem thing. I mean, that's why a lot of us start weight training. And I wasn't happy with the way I looked. 100%. Did I have bigorexia? No. But I wanted to look a certain way. I judged myself in the mirror. How many people wake up every day and are happy with the way they look in the mirror? And people like us that achieve that platform status where we're visible are the people look for it. And that's why I continue to do the YouTube and I do my free J-mail with my newsletter and I have my Jay Cutler Club now, which is available. And I'm out every weekend when I don't want to travel anymore. I'll be truly honest with you guys. I want to stay home with Angie. I want to stay home with the dogs. There's so many things. I want to do with my social time with my family and my friends, that I sacrifice still to give my all for this business. And hence, that's why now, I'm representing the Olympia this year. And
That's good.
I still have a lot of these. I have 4 Jay Cutler events that bear my name, and I'm still invited to go to all these expos. I'm truly honored to do that, and it's a commitment that I've made since day one. It was my dream. It was my dream to be the best bodybuilder and the best representative I can possibly be. Now, am I the greatest? That's questionable. I look at Lee Haney, I look at Ronnie. Everyone represents something different. But the truth is I feel I'm doing the best of my ability to be the best I can be.
Oh, you sure are doing a great job.
It's funny you should say that, because what you've just said there gave me the same kind of feeling that we got when we had Phil Heath on the first time, when he was talking just like you're talking there, and it felt like how a Mr. Olympia, how a representative, an ambassador of the sport should talk to the media, the fans, the people. And this is what's needed. This is what we need.
Can't you talk? Can't you help the current guys with some Jay Cutler?
Well, he's the ambassador. He's helping the athletes. This is what he needs to do.
He needs to talk to them more.
Some guys just don't. They're not vocal.
Yeah,
they're not vocal, and you can't change a person. I was a very introverted person. I still am. I just know when to step in and step out, and I know when to speak. And that's the thing. I don't speak unless really you call me and ask me to speak, right? I'm not calling you saying, hey, man, I want to be on your show. I have something to say. I'd rather just kind of spin off what current events are happening. Yeah. And I'll always give my honest opinion. As you see, I may have hurt feelings with, how I felt about Sean, or, telling Phil he should compete when, I don't know really what's going on, with his health or whatever else. But I'll always give you guys the honest spin on things and how I see things. But remember, it's my opinion. That's all. And I can't sit there and tell you, hey, I think Rolly should do this, or Big Ramy should do this. I mean, if I was Big Ramy, I'd be in the States for X amount of time a year to do tours. I think, they're missing a lot of revenue, which I think is important to finance your career, because no matter how we look at it, it's still a financial thing. It costs a lot of money to do what we do and train like we do, and we sacrifice a lot of things where you have to be laser focused on one show. You have to have tunnel vision. You can't have 12 things going on outside as you're training for the biggest title in the world. So that's really, you live a very, what I call a boxy lifestyle. It's very simplified, right? Giles training around, Rosie or whatever for these shows. What does she do? She eats and she sleeps, she trains, and you don't really want to think about the stresses. It's just Groundhog Day.
I was just about to say Groundhog Day. Yeah, Groundhog Day.
It's repetitive over and over and over, and that's what makes you great.
Yes.
And now you've transitioned. She's transitioned out. Why? Could she have been better? Maybe, but you know what? She wants to move on to bigger and better things, but probably use this as a stepping stone to get to those things.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And do you know what? It's the way that you pay it forward. Now, obviously, you've just spoke about Phil Heath. We all know what you've done for Phil Heath, and it's a testament to your kind of goodwill and your kind of good heart. Now, I'm good friends with Flexus. I've known him many years, and he always, we talk sometimes privately about the professionalism and the way that some of these athletes aren't maybe capitalizing on their time. Like you said, they've got a window of opportunity to create as much opportunity and business and kind of security for themselves. And he always cites you as one of, like, really his main kind of inspiration for the mindset and the business mind that he has now. And I think it's so important. But like you said, some of these athletes, they're actually impenetrable. They are who they are. They're the people that they are. So it's, but I still think it's so important for people like yourself, because like I've seen Flex Lewis help, Andrea Presti and all these, John De La Rosa, and the way he kind of helps people. Dallas McCarver, he was a very good friend to him and everything. And I think it's so important to have that community where the best of the best can teach the next generation.
And listen, I don't think Flex he's not a guy that wants to speak all the time either. He came to my house. Yeah. He was here for my original 06 Olympia party I had at my other house. At the time I had a party when I won the show, and
hang on, I wasn't invited to that.
He was a quiet young kid. He didn't say anything.
Yeah.
He was just he was like a sponge trying to learn. Okay, this is what goes on, and he's advanced himself into being a huge figurehead in this business.
Yep.
He may look back in 6 months and say, you know what, why should I compete? I'm more popular than I've ever been. Social media is an amazing thing, right? I mean, people are going to sit here and watch this thing over and over and over from all different, areas of the world, and they'll learn a lot. It's just that you get that one thing from a person, or you connect with that one person, they're a fan for life, right?
Yeah.
So you just don't know who you're going to come in contact with, and if you're traveling and you're speaking and you're just taking the opportunity. It's just like, you asked me, hey, can I be on the show? I said, listen, I'm super busy. I just didn't, it wasn't really the right time. And this was the right time because there's a lot of moving parts happening right now, right?
Yes.
So, listen, we can talk for hours about what about this guy and what do you think about this? And, this is hyping up. So I'd love to get back on and talk as we get closer to the Olympia and really when the hype train really starts and we see who's in the show. I mean, there's other guys like Steve Kuclo, who I think are up and coming. He's a guy to watch this year. Of course, Rolly. I mean, Rolly could win this thing this year. I mean, Brandon Curry could win this show this year. I mean, Bonnick, don't count him out. He's right there, too. I mean, that was an edgy show at the Arnold between him and Curry, right?
Yep.
I heard Curry won Friday and Bonnick kind of won Saturday, but it was a little late.
I had it the other way around. I had Bonac winning the prejudging, but I thought he just edged just that little bit enough to win. I felt he won the finals.
But it's splitting hairs.
Yeah.
Right?
It was close. It was close. Flip of a coin.
And Brandon's made some super improvements. He's got definitely the hype train going into the show. I just. The hard part for me is this. I'm going to say this, and you can take it for what it is. Rolly, Brandon Curry, William Bonnick. These guys are all training overseas. It's the first time you've had like that kind of a lineup where you only have Sean Roden and Dexter Jackson of like the big front names. Who else am I missing? Who else am I missing in that top 6?
Someone really obvious, probably.
But 3 are like totally hidden almost, right?
Yes.
I mean, Brandon, they're like training like Rocky Balboa style, like
in the snow.
Nathan Diasha's out of
Nathan Diasha.
Yeah. Nathan, we haven't heard from in a minute. I mean, I think he's competing. Isn't there a Grand Prix or something he's doing there? Or, he's dangerous.
Yeah, we went he's literally half an hour away from this studio. We drove up over a few weeks ago and had him on one of the episodes, and it was like so appreciative that we come over, and it was fantastic.
Just one question: when you say Steve Kuclo is up and comer, what do you mean by that?
He's gonna be a factor in the top 6, 7 this year, I believe.
Wow.
I think he's gonna push a couple guys. He's got the condition. He's got the size. Just needs more pop when he hits poses, but he's coming into his own now. He's coming into his own. I think we've kind of been waiting for it, but he's big, he's broad, and he's got a lot of muscle, man. So I think he could be a guy that really could put it together for the Olympia and push some of these guys, because we know not everyone's going to show up in top shape, right?
Yeah.
We can talk about we can sit there and make predictions. These are top 6. Let's look at last year's top 6. Well, what if Rami sits out? What if what if Dexter Jackson gets back in that mix and isn't 7th, right? He's hungry I'm telling you, all these guys after seeing Sean this weekend, these guys are like chomping at the bits now. They're like, man, we have a window right here, because they think, okay, it's 20 weeks away. Can Sean put it together? Ask me, does Sean put it together? Absolutely. Does he improve on last year? That is the big question mark. Does he need to improve? It's not like, oh, Ronnie, show up like you did last year. No one's going to beat you. That's how we used to hear with Ronnie. And then, you can do the same thing over and over, and you're not going to get the same result. So I think right now the door is open a little more than it was last weekend. Oh, there's a window here. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see, man. I know I'd be motivated like crazy right now, going and training back and getting ready for this show. And, just granted everyone makes it to the stage.
Jay, I interviewed you last year at the Olympia. I think it was on the Thursday at the Expo. And I remember there was a point in the interview and you kind of paused and you said, and you kind of looked me straight in the eye and you said, all I'm saying is I can't remember the exact words, but you seemed quite confident there was going to be a new Mr. Olympia. Is that something you weren't telling us?
Sean was pretty bold on my channel.
Yes, he was.
This is, yeah.
And, he said, I'm going to expose Phil Heath. And I remember seeing Sean probably 3 weeks prior at Gold's Venice, and I saw Chris Psycho Fitness, and I told him, I said, listen, man, the key to Sean is his transitional poses with his stomach. If he can hold his stomach in and work on those transitions, and I know he killed him on compulsories. He killed him. He made him, practice. And you know what? I just felt, Phil, you get to that point because I've been there, your efforts to show how you look aren't necessarily, you don't practice as much. You're just like, okay, I'm Mr. Olympia. I've done this all over. And practicing that posing is huge. And we know Phil had an issue with the distension the year prior. We've seen it slowly growing, right? Mm-hmm. And obviously he mentioned the hernia, which a lot of us didn't know, but the year prior he said he went in for surgery after. And that was a big question mark because he said it's going to be fixed, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. If it's not fixed, those judges are looking at it because I know the rumblings I heard through all years off Phil's stomach's going to be a little tighter. So that stomach if it was sticking out a little bit, then there was a big problem. And I felt leading into the show, we might see a new one, whether it was Sean or someone else. I mean, he was pretty confident.
So you weren't sort of like, okay, I've seen Sean, so I know he's looking that good.
I didn't.
So it was a feeling rather than, because it was more because you felt that he hadn't had the stomach fixed. That was the issue.
Yeah, I think that was the big question mark.
Right,
but
okay.
You get up to those big numbers, man. Phil was going for 8 or whatever, man. They get a little more critical with those guys, and that's a record, man. 8, they're going to be a little critical to pass that tie record on to someone. I mean, you saw me break the streak with Ronnie where he was going for 9 to hold the overall record, and I'm sure that was so disappointing for him. It was exciting for me to be the first, and really be the first guy to beat a guy on stage. It was pretty amazing, but like I said, I mean, we've kind of had now, the big thing happened this year. It's if you interview me on Thursday, I'm not so sure I'm going to sit there and tell you Sean Rhoden's winning this thing for sure, which normally is the case, right? We'll see how the show transpires and what the rumblings are. But, Sean didn't look, I mean, from my understanding, Sean didn't look like Mr. Olympia 3 days out from the show either. I mean, It came down to 3 days. 3 days out, he wasn't like that. He looked on stage. Trust me, he was not. He became, like, in that last 24 hours, he transformed a lot. Like, it's dialing down. It's peak.
Yeah.
I mean, and Phil Heath, man, Phil Heath won a lot of those poses. I mean, you may question if Phil Heath won or lost that show. I know how you are. You're a bodybuilder to the core. Does Phil Heath have better shots? Absolutely. Absolutely, Phil Heath is a more dominant body on that stage. It's just the problem is the midsection just slipped.
Yeah.
And they really had their eye on that, and they kind of pinpointed that. And I can see Phil being like, man, I won this thing. But I can also see, hey, you know what? They were looking at something different, and the midsection really kind of sealed the deal for him.
Plus, I mean, when they switched the Olympia to having it over 2 days back in '97, it was really evident then how guys could look, because they call Phil Mr. Saturday Night. I mean, he was okay at the prejudging, but we expected them all to look sensational on Saturday. He looked marginally better, whereas kind of Sean looked better on the Friday. It was like kind of Brandon and Bonac. It's like it was it was flip of a coin. So
listen. If it was my call, I would go back to doing a Saturday morning, Saturday night show. But I understand why they do it for the expos, and it's just really hard as an athlete to go 24 hours and compete 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
I think everyone wakes up drier no matter what Saturday morning.
Yeah.
and then you might be fuller for the night. But I just think the 2-day show is really difficult. I mean, there's a reason that Arnold does it that way, and that doesn't necessarily affect the expo as much. But I always liked when the Olympia was the same day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay, then AJ, have you got any final questions for
No
Jay?
final questions. Just
Awesome.
happy to have you on, Jay Cutler. It means a lot to me personally to be able to talk to you. This is like a dream for me. You inspire a lot more than people you know, Jay. A lot of people you inspire us. And also the way you do business is what It's real. It's just so good because even when you were young to now, it's the same consistency, the same message, going out of the box, staying consistent. It's just so all around the world you touch people, Jay. And I'm so happy to see your shows are doing good. You're going to be at the Olympia, new supplement line. You're as in demand as ever. And we're just really proud to have you as a representative for bodybuilders. It's epic to see, Jay.
And I will be in Scandinavia, by the way. I am working on distribution. I'm working on coming for one of the expos, actually, which we're talking about now. So I may be Finland or Swedish expo, but I will have distribution, so I will be touring there.
When is that?
End of the year.
Then I will be there.
Fantastic. Okay, Jay. I don't have to finish this off. Really, it's just that is absolutely. This was exactly what I was hoping for. Absolutely, really, really generous with your opinions, Jay. And like I said, we wish you all the best with, and it's good to hear a bit more about this Olympia ambassador, because I think when the news went out, everyone was kind of, oh, this is fantastic. But I think there was we needed a bit more clarity on what that entailed. Yeah. And to hear that you're going to be helping the athletes as well as the promoters, I think that's how you're going to really come in as a huge asset that is going to help sell that Olympia, that arena out. Because, I mean, the Olympia for me, it's like I can never understand how American fans, every single American bodybuilding fan doesn't go to the Olympia.
That's so weird, isn't it?
It's crazy. It's crazy. The Olympia, honestly, guys, if you've never been to the Olympia, get yourself there. It is such an experience, isn't it, Jay? It's amazing.
That's what we thrive on, the experience. You have to at least experience it once in your life. But the problem is, once you do it once, you probably be hooked and you come back again.
I mean, I've been 6-7 Olympias now, and it's one. It's the for those couple of months before, it's the thing I'm really looking forward to. So yeah. If we could get you on again, before the Olympia, if you've got any news or anything, Jay, we'd love to have you on.
Would love to, guys, and let's stay in touch. And thank you so much for the opportunity. And sorry it took so long.
All right then, Jay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
4-time Mr. Olympia, Jay Cutler. Fantastic. All right then, Jay. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye. Oh.
Well,
you're speechless.
Now we got Phil Heath, we got Jay Cutler, we got Fritz Lewis, we got Tony Freeman, we got Dennis Wolf.
Yeah.
What else do people want now?
Oh, that was fantastic. That was even that. I've known Jay years, but that was even better than I expected. I didn't. That for me, that was a 5-star interview. That was perfect. He was really open, honest.
Right now, it's a little
inspiring.
Bit when I get home to Norway. And I will start thinking about, because it's a little bit,
think about what?
Like, it's a little bit surreal, when you're a kid in Norway, it's a place where nothing happens with bodybuilding. I mean,
yeah.
And I was one of the young kids reading these, with Jay Cutler, having his pictures on the wall.
That's the one.
Eating Ezekiel bread, Ezekiel bread.
Yeah.
Having the Puri Thang orange drink, the orange drink. What's it called again? That orange drink he had, Tang.
Okay. I've never heard of that.
Eating the 12 eggs, watching his DVDs, and now I'm talking to him.
Yeah.
Jay Cutler, the legend.
Fantastic. Yeah, I've really enjoyed that one, mate. Really enjoyed that one.
I hope you guys did too at home.
And I feel like, I think episode 20, it's a bit of a milestone for us, because, it's that next, it's a body of work. It's something to be proud of. And it's, because we started off.
Episode 1, Phil Heath. Episode 20.
I was just about to say. Yeah.
Jay Cutler. What are we going to have episode 30 now?
I don't know. We're going to have to.
You need to call Ronnie Coleman up.
Yeah, Arnold, come on, mate. You need to.
Lee Haney, the legend.
Lee Haney be fantastic.
Lee Haney would be good.
Oh, wow. Well, Lee Haney was kind of the reigning Mr. Olympia when I started to become a fan of bodybuilding in 1990. So that was he was my hero. You know, so yeah.
Well, that was an excellent one. Thanks to Jay Cutler.
That is a representative for the sport, and do you know what? This is something I think we need to focus on, and something obviously we spoke about in the intro about the professionalism of the athletes. And there is a guy who has maximised his business opportunities, his time. I mean, the guy is he's probably making. I know it's not all about money, but he's probably making more money and creating more opportunities for himself. That the fact he's been retired for years. You've got guys like him, Rich Gaspari, Ronnie Coleman, the Berry DeMays, Lila Bradas. These are the guys that were the pinnacle of the sport, and now they're kind of, the show promotion, the Sean Rays, they're putting on these shows all over the world. This is what I like to see.
Top 5 legends of all time. We have Jay Cutler, guaranteed. Phil Heath, Ronnie Coleman, Lee Haney, Dorian Yates, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't do Dorian Yates.
I'd love to sneak LeBron in there.
Ronnie. Well,
he's my personal favorite.
You got to win a Sandow first.
Well, in terms of personal inspiration, because like I said, I've got a personal attachment.
When can we get Ronnie? I want to sing with him. Ronnie's a fantastic singer.
Look at that, 2009, mate. Look at that. That was when he did. That's when he. I love that. That's a real. That's a story. That's like a.
When he came out in 2009.
Yeah.
You were like.
Do you remember 2008? He lost the Olympia to Dexter, and it was like, shit. After all those years of chasing Ronnie, and he got it, and then he held on to the title 2 times, 3 times, and it was like, and then he came out and he got beat by Dexter Jackson, who's a fantastic bodybuilder. Like you said, he's one of the all-time best. And then he's like, it's what happened to Ronnie in 2002 when he lost to Gunter at the Show of Strength. When you get someone with a champion mindset and they get beat, they get mad.
And I'm changing my pick now. I think Steve Kukla is going to do some epic things this Olympia.
Oh, really? Yeah.
If Jay says it, it's going to happen.
I don't see Kukla top 6.
Jay knows something we don't know.
Well, yeah. See, I alluded to that. I said, because he said in the interview, he says, we're going to have a new, and he was kind of smiling. I'm thinking, what, does he know something I don't? Or, so, but he was,
Global muscle on the rise.
On the rise. Epic, bro. Okay, we'll be
Pump
right.
Media.
Pump Media, yes, Pump Media, and also a big thank you to our sponsors, High-Tech Pharmaceuticals.
It's obviously muscular development.
Yeah. So I hope you've enjoyed this interview, and we will be right back after the break with our next guest. Who will it be? We don't know.
Oh, it's my guy, isn't it?
And we are out. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle Radio here at the Pump Media Studios, joined by my co-host AJ, all the way from Norway, and we're joined by new IFB pro, Sylvia Sissy Scaglione. Yeah!
Yeah.
How are you, Sylvia?
Hi, everybody. Hi, so happy to be here with you. Usually I used to look at your podcast, and now I'm here.
You're on it, yeah.
And I am the interviewed.
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually Sylvia turned pro 2 weeks ago at the Big Man Show.
Yep.
In the women's physique. I've actually known Sylvia. She's married to Patrick Tour, who was on last episode. I've known Patrick and Sylvia how many years? 3-4 years?
For me, 3 years with you, but Patrick knew you
yes
before me. Yeah.
I've known you 3 years, and obviously I've followed this. I mean, I had no idea. I think the last time we spoke was at San Marino 2017. And you were saying, I'm not sure whether I'm going to compete again, because you competed many years ago. Do you want to tell us tell us a little bit about your contest history?
But one thing, I called Giles the first day after I saw your post on Instagram with your condition. Wow. What a condition you brought, huh?
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think that it's
very
not
good.
Easy. It's a long journey because I have started this project probably 2 years ago, planning to care about my metabolism, because I hate people that do not use carbs.
Okay.
I take care of my body, introducing many carbs, so to be in the habits of eating a lot of them.
Really?
Because I had to increase muscles, but I also had to do not suffer so much for dieting for the prep. And this was the good results, because for me it was a diet for this prep.
Okay.
But if I tell you about my my diet. It's don't seems to be a diet, understand
Really?
me? Because the metabolism was really, really good, very reacting.
Okay,
And this was a body goal, really, really. I think that I've got my point of view about bodybuilding, because if you want to last during the years, you have to think more in a long way, I mean. So you have not to suffer so much because you have to compete many, many times. So this is the reason why I try to change my way of dieting, of performing, everything. I've changed my mentality. Because I want to
I'm really
last
sorry
a year.
to interrupt, guys. Really sorry to interrupt. The brightness of the screen is very overpowering. Is there any way you can either draw the blind or
just
something?
adjust it, yeah.
It's very, very bright.
I have to adjust.
Yeah, just move left or right, maybe away from the window, just to.
Just twist it around maybe slightly.
It's very,
Okay.
very bright. Very, very bright.
Better?
Oh,
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
It's
no, it's gone brighter again.
Così
No,
va bene. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
perfect.
Thank you.
Perfetto.
That's good.
Thank you.
That's great.
Wow, look at the difference.
Yeah.
Much better. We can see you now.
Much better.
You're actually pink.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Also
Sorry.
because of the color, I think everything he likes.
Do you want to start again?
No. Keep going. No,
Okay,
that's
we
fine.
edit
It's
this
fine.
out.
No, it's
Okay.
fine. We'll just leave it as it is. So
Okay.
But one thing, Giles know you very well. The audience don't know you at all, almost. Can we give you your background? Where did you used to compete? How did you get into fitness? Things like this. How
Yes.
long have you been competing, training, etc.?
First of all, I was a classic dancer in our national academy in Italy. Then I had to stop for many reasons I'm not here to speak about. Let's speak about bodybuilding. And then when I was 18 years old, from professional dancer, I started being an anorexic.
Okay.
And so bodybuilding care, I don't want to make you sad. It's a little bit sad story, but it's really important because it has taught me the importance of food. Now I'm not scared of food. I want food. I eat.
Carbs.
And I am with it. And I started like a soft bodybuilding in WABA Federation. And I won my first world championship when I was 21 years old.
What's soft bodybuilding? What is that?
It's like the physique by now.
Okay.
It was called the soft category because the hard was the bodybuilder, the real bodybuilding. And the soft category was like this women physique. Then I had to stop because I gained my pro card in 2003, but I had some problems with the federation here in Italy. And so I stopped competing, and now I'm really, really happy because I have regained by myself my pro card without saying thanks to anybody. And this is really, really, it makes me full of happiness. Really.
I mean, Silvia, we spoke at the San Marino when you, yourself, Patrick, and Rosie went for lunch, and you were saying you weren't even sure what category you were going to come back to.
Yeah.
And then literally, even maybe 2 months ago, I still couldn't tell what category you were. And then in those last 6 weeks, your physique just it's like it popped out from nowhere.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was absolutely.
I saw her in Romania, and I would not imagine she could turn eyes.
AJ, when was Romania? That was last November, wasn't
I
it?
don't believe how. Okay, so I met her in November, and very beautiful,
You're
but
right.
she wasn't like a bodybuilder type at that time. And now you're a female physique pro.
Yeah, what's going on? What's
the secret?
What's going on?
I think that my body reacted really well because I had a long stop, but my body still remember of my past. So when I decided to start in a serious way to work out and to be on diet, well, the results arrived really fast. I call it genetic, I think, because I feel I'm born for this category. I refused in the beginning because looking at the competition, sometimes I don't see, apart Rosie is excellent, but I think there are many females that are not females anymore, you understand?
Yeah.
I want to be in the middle, to be muscular, but feminine.
So when
Because I don't want people to say, hey, she's a male. No, a female.
Sylvia, when did you decide to be physique then? Because I'm getting the impression you couldn't decide yourself, or is that fair to say?
My coach, that is Giampiero Cataldi.
Oh,
here
Cataldi.
in Italy.
Giampiero?
Cataldi, yes.
Patrick is not coaching you?
Yes.
Is Patrick not coaching you?
No, because there is a reason. The reason is that Giampiero has discovered me and created me many years ago, and know exactly how my body works. But Patrick has helped me so much with the SST way of training, because all the improvement you can check on me is because of him, because of his technique. But Giampiero know my body about dieting and about the best way of proceeding, and also because when you are with your boyfriend, if your boyfriend say, "Hey, do like this," you can say, "Hey, why?" But if Giampiero say, "You have to do it," I shut up and do it.
Giampiero actually won the NABA Pro University.
What's his name?
Giampiero Cataldi.
Yeah. Okay.
This guy had the most craziest legs you've ever seen. And I think he won the NABA Pro University in 1995, I believe it was. Okay. He was like phenomenal, wasn't he? So I'm thrilled to hear that name again, Sylvia.
He was unlucky because 212 did not exist at the time, if you remember.
He would have been 212.
Really, really small. He was at 212. Wow. And he had to compete with Ronnie Coleman. He was called in the comparison with Ronnie. He was like this. Oh my God. And Giampiero stopped.
He was like the Hadi Chupin. He was like, that level of, that level of athlete, So fantastic to hear.
So really conditioned, a lot conditioning, lot. In fact, when I told him, "Hey, Giampiero, by now physique needs condition," I have not to tell him. He told me, "Okay, we will stop when my hands enter in your gluteus." Oh my God.
Oh, sorry.
So now that you
understand, it's not an unkind expression to say that the stripes had to be really, really strong. The stripes of the gluteus. Sorry for my English.
That's okay.
But you have understood.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
A question. Now that you turn pro, are you going to turn it up and do damage, or you're going to rest? What's the plans for you now?
I want to start from this condition to make it better. I think that I can do something with this condition, but more condition, because it's not enough for a pro. So I have to work really hard. I do not want to stop, because this is only the first step. I have to go on. I need to go on and not to stop, because I believe in workout and dieting, and so I have to do it by my own, you understand?
So what show are you looking to do your debut?
Probably in 3 months, I would like to compete again. Or before, it depends.
Which show?
Giampiero is deciding. Probably Lisbona.
Oh, Portugal.
In Portugal?
Yeah, in Portugal,
I honestly think you could be a winner right out of the gate. I think you could win pro shows. From what I saw at Spain, if you can, that look in itself is good enough, I think, to win pro shows. It's a woman's physique.
We have to put some pictures of her in this interview so people can see the condition.
Yeah.
Because people don't know her that well.
We can bring her up in the intro.
Yeah.
We'll bring her up in the intro, because we're filming this back to front today. So we're doing intro, myself and AJ. So what we'll do is if you can send me some footage or whatever, we'll put it in the intro, and then everyone's kind of more aware of who you are, and then they'll be eagerly waiting your pro debut. So.
You on WhatsApp, it's okay?
Yeah.
If I send it, okay, perfect. Yes, of course. I'm really proud.
I want to just give you like a quick shout, because I just wanted to, just showcase the fact that you're coming. You're pro, and honestly, it was such a buzz when we saw that video of you jumping up and down, with your pro card. I was like, oh!
My mother told me, "Oh, go away really fast because you are crazy, and then going to take the pro card back."
and I hope also you use your social media and platform now as you're a pro to talk about the struggles with anorexia, and other problems you may have had in the past, to teach girls, because now you're a role model as IBB Pro. So people want to hear that story, because it's very inspiring to turn anorectic into a pro. It's much more valuable than just to look at physique all the time. On your use that platform to inspire other kids, huh?
I agree with you, but there are many other bodybuilders that have spoken about this problem.
Okay.
And I don't know if people are a little bit tired of this story, because I think that there are many people that have not been really anorexic, because anorexic is drinking water and do not eat, that use this story to make them more valuable. How do you say in English? Okay. So I prefer to do not speak about sad stuff, but let's make positive. The past is the past. Let's speak about the future.
Okay.
This is the reason I have restarted competing without thinking about the pro card I've lost.
Yeah.
I do not think.
Forget it.
Let's build up. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough, Sylvia.
Positivity.
Yeah. Fair enough, Sylvia. Okay, Sylvia, I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
And
I appreciate and thank you guys. Thank you very much. So proud of this interview.
It's our pleasure. Like I said, I was that Sunday morning when I saw on the phone, and I was just like, I think I was actually sat on the toilet
when you were jumping. But people,
I was very excited. I was very excited. Oh my God, Rosie! She went, Charles, what's going on? I went, Sylvia got a pro card.
Yeah, that video was he jumped up and down in the audience.
I jumped up and down.
But the crowd should cheer more. The crowd was a little bit.
But like I won the Olympia.
That's Sylvia. That's next. That's next.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
This is still a dream come true. Then I will think about the rest. But thank you very much for your support. Thank you.
Big hug and a big sloppy kiss for Patrick.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Sylvia. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, what's that?
New IFBB Pro.
Yeah.
Female physique.
Oh, so excited for her.
Gonna bring the heat in
Lisbon, Portugal. Lisbon.
We have to start traveling more, Giles, to watch these shows, man.
Totally agree.
Because you want to be part, especially you that are good friends with her and her.
I
husband.
wish I'd been at the big man show now.
I told you,
James Hollinshead got third, and then you had Patrick and Sylvia there, and it was with Josh Lenartowicz, and they're all working together, and they're all kind of like this.
We got to ask if we can carry Justin's bag. Maybe he'll take us on one of the strips.
And we are out. Okay, then we're gonna be right back with our next guest on MD Global Muscle Radio, and we are out. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle Radio here at the Pump Media Studios, joined by my co-host AJ, all the way from Norway, and we're joined by Charles Griffin. Damn! Charles, how are you, mate?
I'm all good. I'm doing very good, my man. Very good.
Good, so...
We saw your recent Instagram picture that we reposted on Muscle Development. Charles, something is going on this season, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, we got something cooking. We got something cooking. I'm just riding the wave and letting the body do what the body does. You know what I mean? So I'm excited.
Because you debuted at the Mr. Olympia contest last year, correct?
Yep, I debuted there. Yep, my first time stepping on the Olympia stage was last year, and placed 13th place. Looking to come back next year. Looking to come back this year, and we hopped. We want to slide up a few spots. You know what I mean?
Has this made you hungrier for this season?
Way hungrier. Man.
Yeah.
I got a little taste of the Olympia last year. It was like prejudging, and then finals. Then it was over. You know what I mean? It was so quick. So this year I'm ready to get there and take it in more, and do a little bit more damage when I hit that stage.
What was that like? I mean, obviously, as a competitor, as an amateur, then turning pro. Obviously, the Olympia is the best of the best. And you say it went really fast, but what's that like when you're backstage and you're thinking, even just to get to the Olympia stage is a huge achievement. What was that like? Take us through it.
Man, the first time I walked backstage I saw the pump-up room. And it was like, when I walked up, it said, no. I just seemed like, oh, man, I'm here. I made it here, you know what I mean? Yeah. And this is when I was going to get the tan, my second coat of tan, and I saw the pump-up room, and I'm like, wow, I made it here, you know what I mean? It was an unbelievable feeling. When I got off the airplane and I got my car rental, just getting into Vegas. I was just like on my Snapchat, on my Instagram story, just smiling ear to ear, alligator smile. Just I didn't know what to do, man. It was just I was there 5 days before we got started, before we hit the stage, and it was just I was taking everything in, man. It was like one of the greatest feelings that I could ever feel. You know what I mean? It was one of the highlights of my life right there.
Were you excited when you get the tracksuit? Because all the competitors get Olympia tracksuits, and it's just a lot of competitors, you know, privately they say, "Oh, when you get that tracksuit," and they give it, and it comes to you, and you pick it up. It's like that's when it feels real.
Yeah, it felt real. When they gave me that tracksuit, I was just like, again, I was trying to be Mr. Cool Guy in the meeting, just, you know, focus, this and that. As soon as they gave me the tracksuit, I just started smiling. I couldn't help myself. I was just like a kid in a candy store. It was great. It was great.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about. I mean, we'll come up to your pro career. Let's talk about when you started competing. You know, where you turned pro. Give us a little bit of brief history on that, please.
Basically, I started competing in 2014.
14.
I won my first show, Mr. Minnesota, 2014. Then I just I went straight to the national stage. I did North Americans 2014, and I placed 8th at my first one. And then I went to Miami 2015, and I dropped to about 13th place because I cheated on my diet quite a bit. You know, I was still new to the game, so I was like, oh, I got great genetics. I could eat this. I could do this. And I did some stuff that I shouldn't have done. Like, for instance, I'm going to tell you a little quick story. We were at the hotel, and I walked by this table and had all kind of Danishes and all kind of stuff on the table. And I'm like, golly, that looks good. I met with my coach. I'm walking behind my coach, and I grabbed a cheese Danish, and I put it in my pocket. And my coach is like, what did you grab? Did you grab something? I'm like, no, what are you talking about? And I'm over here just slapping the cheese Danish in my pocket, and it's crumbling.
Oh, no.
I couldn't wait to get in my room to eat that cheese Danish. That was just like, and I went off and ate some pump up candy bars. I was just doing a little too much, and I dropped to 13th. And then once I dropped to 13th place, you know, that hit me right there because I hit 8th and 13th. And I went back into the off season. I did USA's 2015. And I placed top 3. I placed 3rd. And that was with Cody Montgomery, Gerald Williams. We placed top 3. And then 2015 Miami, I won my heavyweight class and went against Sergio Olivia in the overall. Oh, wow. I beat him, but I didn't beat him. That's what I'm gonna say.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
So, you know, I beat Sergio, but you know, I didn't get the trophy.
Oh, so okay.
I remember.
Yeah.
I beat him at the Olympia, so I got him this time.
Yeah, you got one each.
Yes.
So carry on telling us about when you turned pro and maybe your first pro shows.
Man, when I turned pro, I cried like a little baby on the national stage. You know what I mean? I was happy. You know what I mean? I seen some girls turning pro and stuff like that. The girls wasn't crying; they were just smiling. I felt like a big baby. Here I am crying on the stage. This woman, a lot of women just get their stuff and they ain't even crying or nothing like that. I felt like a big baby. So then I went back and we did the Ferrigno Legacy. That was my first pro show, and you know, I started seeing Nathan D'Asha, Justin Compton, all these guys lining up on the lineup. I'm like, oh my God, this is supposed to be my pro debut. I'm supposed to win this show. I'm about to go out here and get smoked. And what I did, I ended up taking 5th place at my pro debut. So I didn't win this show, but placing top 5 at my pro debut, you know, that was a great accomplishment. And then after that, you know, I did the Cal Pro. I did the my second year pro. I did the Cal Pro. I placed 3rd place. I did Muscle Mayhem. I placed 2nd place next to Victor Martinez. You know what I mean? That was a win in my book because that was only 3 years competing all together. And then I go against Victor Martinez and I placed 2nd against him. That was a win in my book. And then I went over to Chicago Pro and I placed 4th place. And then we got the 2018 season when I came back and I placed 2nd next to Kuklo at the Indy Pro. And then I got my first pro win at the Muscle Mayhem. You know what I mean? I got my first pro win. So I placed in the top 5 every pro show I've done except the Olympia. You know what I mean? So always place in that top 5 position.
Don't be too hard on losing to Kuklo. It's impossible to beat Kuklo in a small show. We have you can if you're a brother, bro. It's hard beating a Kuklo. it's impossible almost, bro. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah. I found that out.
No. Yeah. But this year, Chicago Pro. That's your first show this year, correct?
Yep, the Chicago Pro. Yep, it's my first.
What's the improvements you made for this show? What have you focused mostly on?
About 100 pounds of muscle by the looks of it.
Oh, he's gained some pounds.
Everything, I just wanted to bring everything up. You know what I mean? I just didn't focus on one body part. I focused on the whole body. We just revamped my training, the way I did my training. I got with Matt Jansen, and he influences a lot of us, the way he trains and the way he works hard. We get influenced by what he does. So, in my training style, his thing is do the hard stuff. I'm doing a lot of different movements that I never really used to do, doing a lot of more rolls. I used to really hate rolls for backs. I used to really hate hat squats. Certain machines I used to really hate, but since I got with him, I just started really doing the stuff that I didn't like, and now they've turned into some of my favorite movements. You know what I mean? So
what did you do? What did you do for back if you didn't row? Because you've got a really, really good back.
Yeah, I did. When it came to back, I did rolls, but I just didn't like. I don't know. I do a lot of single arm rolls now, heavy, strict, no body movement, just straight lat, just keeping the movement strict. You know what I mean? I'm doing like 2 different roll movements each exercise I'm doing. You know what I mean? One thing I always done is for that wide back. Everybody asks me for my wide back. One exercise I've never stopped doing is lat pull down, heavy lat pull downs. And as you guys can see all my training videos, this and that, I'm big on form. You know what I mean? I'm big on form. So you can go as heavy as you want, but if your form is shit, what good is it going to do you? So I'm big on form. I'm big on technique. So I'm always controlled, slow movements, and I'm always feeling the weight, not just moving the weight. I'm feeling the exercise.
I'll be honest, Charles. Your social media is probably my top 5 favorite social media that bodybuilders post. Because I'll be honest, I kind of get a bit bored with a lot of stuff that. But you put a lot of. I think every single workout you do, at least you film at least one set of every single exercise. And it's good because it's good to put that kind of content out there because your form is good, your technique's good, and I think it's important. And you're very consistent. I think you and Sean Clarida are the 2 that spring to mind that are putting out that. And I love the consistency of what you put out. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, I try to put out because we all got muscles. We all could put up pictures of us flexing this and that. I want to show how I'm different from everybody. I want to show how I pay attention to form, how I'm lifting super heavy weight, but I'm still in control of anything I'm doing. Any weight I'm moving, I'm always controlling the weight. I'm not just over there moving the weight. You know what I mean? So very, very big on form, very big on heavy weights. But if you're going to move some heavy weight, you got to have that form down. You got to have that perfect form. That's my outlook on it.
Does Matt Jensen just take care of your training or your prep and diet
Does he do your diet as well, yeah?
Yeah, he does my diet, but when it comes down to the training, I've been doing this for so long. I take bits, I pick his brain, take bits and pieces of it. But I do my own training. I like to go in there and I do my own training. He had gave me a key, something that he wanted me to do. But then what I did was I put my own little twist to it. Yeah. Something that because I've been doing it for a while, so I put my own little twist to it to where it fits me and to where I'm interested in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's doing the Chicago Pro? Do you know other than yourself?
I heard, I haven't really seen too many people doing it. What is the guy with that makes his glutes move?
Oh, Lucas Osladl.
Lucas Osladl.
Yeah,
Czech guy.
I'm about to take him out.
Yeah?
He beat me 2 times already. He beat me at
very good.
I think he beat me at my pro debut. And then he just beat me at the Olympia by 1 point. So
you're gonna do a Sergio on him. You're gonna do a Sergio on him and get him back.
Yeah, it's time for me to take him out.
He's very quiet, but he comes in really good condition.
Oh, that'll be a fantastic battle between seeing Lucas versus Charles. That's going to be worth the ticket price alone.
Yeah, he comes in shredded. That guy, he does come in shredded. That's one thing he does, come in shredded. Yeah.
Better get that ass ripped, mate, if you stood next to him.
I love that ass roll.
Yeah, he's very good. It's good to have good. The thing is, it's good to go up against the best competition, because if you beat those guys, then it's not a hollow victory and a easy pass to Olympia. You know that you're beating guys that really are top 10 Olympian.
Other than Lucas, though, do you know any other names?
No, I haven't really seen any other names.
Good show.
I'm steady on Instagram. I'm looking to see if anybody's posting about it. I guess a lot of people are doing other shows before the Chicago, and if it doesn't work out for them, then they're gonna probably jump into the Chicago. So I'm looking forward to competing against a lot of people, because Wings of Strength, their shows, he has every bodybuilding class, every class, so it's gonna be a big show. So I'm expected to go against some people. I know it's gonna be a good lineup.
What's the date?
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
July 6th.
Oh,
July 6th.
It's not too long.
Yeah, July 6th. I'm a little over 8 weeks out right now.
Yeah.
If a miracle happens and you don't win, will you do any other shows to qualify for the Olympia this year?
Yeah, I'm going to do whatever shows is after that, you know what I mean? I would like to get it done at Chicago Pro, because, my other show would be like, I think we got Vancouver after that, or you got the Tampa Pro. I'm not scared to compete against anybody, but, you got Dexter and you got Big Rami doing the Tampa Pro. So, if I got to go against them, I got to go against them. But I would like to get it done in the Windy City and, be done with it.
Yeah. Thing is, you did a lot of shows last year, didn't you?
Yeah, I did 2 shows last year. So I did the Indie Pro, and then I did the Muscle Mayhem, and then I did the
Mr. Olympia.
Yeah. If you qualify for the Olympia, when you qualify for the Olympia, are you going to look to do any other shows after the Olympia, like the Prague, or like you fancy doing a bit of traveling? Because I spoke to Gerald Williams about this in 2017, and he said it's important. He thinks it's important for you profile your sponsors, your fan base, to kind of do these shows, and it is good experience to be traveling and competing.
Yeah, that's what I would like to do. My girlfriend, she's in school right now, so she's going to graduate around Olympia time. So I would like to do a show in a different country and turn it into a little vacation. You know what I mean? Get a little Olympia qualification for 2020, and then turn it into a little vacation. But I want to do a little more traveling. So I would like to do some shows after the Olympia for sure. That's on my radar this year for sure.
Well, there's a show in UK at the end of June.
What I'm gonna leave that to my teammate, my fellow teammate Nathan Diaz.
Yes, of course.
Show, you know what I mean. So I think Nathan was doing Toronto, but now I think he's not doing Toronto. I think he's just doing a UK show. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave that one to my buddy Nathan. Right?
Is he not doing the Toronto? Has he?
New York Pro. He's supposed to be doing.
He's doing New York Pro.
Who is
Nathan?
He's doing a New York?
New York, yes. Yeah. And he's not doing Toronto, that's correct, but he's doing New York Pro.
He's definitely doing the British show.
Oh, I didn't know he was doing in New York. I'm out the loop there. I've been so focused on my prep, I guess I didn't pay attention. I didn't know he was doing a New York Pro.
I said to you, I didn't think he looked where he needs to be if he's doing New York.
How long have you been with BPI, by the way?
Yep.
It's about to be a year. It's about to be a year in a couple months. Yeah.
So tell us. Tell us about what it's like. Because I remember when you got your sponsor last year, you messaged me and said, "Oh, I've got a sponsor," and you're all over social media. What difference? What kind of a difference does it make having a good sponsor like that for your bodybuilding and your progress?
Stress. You don't have to worry about anything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not one of those bodybuilders that. I'm not one of bodybuilders like the Sean Rodens and the Dexters and all these people that could just focus on bodybuilding and don't have to work. So I'm a personal trainer as well. I got my personal training and coaching business on the side. So it's always, I got to get money. I got to get my bills set. So when I got that sponsorship with BPI, I was able to go travel and go hang out with Matt for a week. I was able to go here for a week because I got a supplemental income that's coming in. If I'm not going to train my clients this week, I got other income coming in to where I don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? It just takes the pressure off your shoulders, and I could just focus on what I got to focus on, and not got to be so about my clients and training and bills and so forth. You know what I mean? Because I know BPI's got me.
You know what would be really cool? What? Do you know who DMX is, Charles?
Yeah, I know DMX personally because I'm originally from Arizona, so I know DMX personally because he lives out there and knows my father and everything like that. So yeah.
Can't you guys do a joint collab song for your posing routine? Because Charles Griffin, do you know 1, 2, I'm coming for you? You don't know who DMX is, do you?
Haven't a clue.
Ah, man, because
not a Scooby.
You sound identical as DMX.
He likes that. He likes that. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Do you used to rap or something like that?
No, I never used to rap. I used to just be a knucklehead. That's what I used to be.
Knucklehead. Hey, that's what they call Five Finger Death Punch fans, knuckleheads. So
we don't know what Five Finger Death is.
Well, yeah, I'll sing it to you.
The Pittsburgh guest posting that was just out Saturday.
Yeah, I saw that.
Thoughts?
I see everybody's coming at Sean Roden, this and that, and that. Personally, me, I don't look like that in the off season. I stay, I look good in the off season. You know what I mean? My shapes are still there.
Crazy.
And a lot of people are saying like, he is not pushing. He's relaxing. He's letting his body relax, this and that. I know a lot of people that let their body relax and that's not pushing crazy on the off season, but they still look presentable, you know what I mean? Like, when you see the Jay Cutlers and the Phil Heath and all these people guest pose, you know what I mean? They look like freaks. You know what I mean? You want to hang their pictures up on the wall, you know what I mean? But Sean Roden, that's how Sean Roden looks, you know what I mean? And he pulls it together, you know what I mean? But personally, me, I when I'm off season, I still look like, I'm still looking pretty in the off season, you know what I mean? And I'm still not, it's not like I'm pushing all kind of stuff to look pretty, you know what I mean? It's something like, I don't know, everybody else looked pretty good and everything like that, but it's just, I seen Guy Cisnero came out with
today.
Saw that today.
Talking about he personally wouldn't have got out there and guest pose looking like that, but how can Sean Roden decline a Jim Mannion show if he wants you to guest pose? He wants the #1 dog to a guest pose, so how can you deny that?
Yeah, but Charles, you had Flex Lewis and you had Branch Warren there that were there. They were present. They were invited. They made the effort to go there. They were on the mic. They were probably, and ironically, they were probably in better condition than some of the guest posers. So why would Sean do that, get up on stage and pose when he looks like that, when he could have just done what Flex Lewis and Branch Warren did? Do you see my point?
I would have did that. That's the same thing I would have did. I would have just went out there and showed my presence and talked and shake hands and signed some autographs. I wouldn't have got on stage looking like that. Personally, me, I wouldn't have got on stage looking like that. You know what I mean? If I know I was going to do that, he doesn't have to go into a full prep. He doesn't have to do this, but man, he's a freak of nature. He could do a little bit of something to make his body look a little different, and it just seemed like he just didn't do anything. You know what I mean? He just like, forget it. You know what I mean? I'd have sat in the stands and clapped and shook their hands and kissed babies on the cheeks and foreheads.
I love it. Also, I want to say I did an interview with Charles at the Olympia last year, and I think I was at my most excitable. Because we were both so like pumped up, and I said straight away, I said, right, let's just film straight away. Let's not talk for 10 minutes. Let's just go and do the interview.
Yeah.
And it was so good. It was the one I watched back, and I was laughing in my hotel, going, yeah, it was good, wasn't it? His girlfriend said that was the best interview I've seen you do. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
In 3 years, where will Charles Griffin place at the Mr. Olympia contest?
3 years, Charles Griffin will be placing in the top 5. I'll be placing somewhere in that top 5 in 3 years. You know what I mean? Given what I've done in a short period of time,
that's crazy.
I say you give me another 3 years, I could be in that top 5 because all these other guys that are at the top, you know what I mean? They're going to weed themselves out. You know what I mean? Because they're getting older. You know, they got me by 5, 6, 5-6 years. So once they're weaning themselves out, then it's our turn to get in there. You got me, you got the Nathan Diashas, you got you got all of us that's coming up. So I'm gonna be battling in there for the top 5 position for sure in 3.
The thing I like about Charles is, for me, bodybuilding is about progression.
Yeah.
And to see, like, I've followed followed him for the last 2 years.
Amazing progression, isn't it?
And to see the progression, it's a testament to his work ethic and how, like you say, in 3 years, like sometimes they'll say, oh, I'm going to win. And you think, yeah, okay. But you know that Charles is going to be one of those guys that is always going to improve. Even last year when he was prepping, he was managing to improve through the year. So for me, these are the guys I always keep the eye on, because I think... Even if they, 5th place in the first pro show, that's good, but it's not like you're not winning like half a dozen pros. It's the progress. That's what I look for. And I mean, you saw that front door bicep in front of your kids, and it's just like there's no gap, there's nothing. There's just this. It was like looking at Rolly's arms.
Well, the kids. Oh yeah, we saw the one.
Yeah, the children. Yeah, and it was a front door bicep, and I was like, I mean, that is just. That's maximum development.
Do you have 3 kids? Do you have 3 children, or
no? Those are my girlfriend's nieces and stuff. You know.
I was asking Josh.
No comment.
How can he have such white kids? I didn't understand. I didn't know what was going on.
I wasn't going to say that.
I thought it was a Michael Jackson thing going on here, bro.
I might need to get a DNA test.
Yeah, I think you'd have a word with your missus, mate.
I didn't understand.
Have a word with the postman.
So that was not your kids.
Yes.
What is this? No.
Shocker.
All my little nieces. I'm big uncle to all them. Yeah.
Crazy. So.
Do you have any YouTube channels and things like this? How are we going to create more hype for Charles Griffin? Because a lot of people, what can I say? You have a personality that needs to be more shown.
Yeah, I agree.
For us to get more, because Charles has been taught. We have something called Muscle Development Forums, where we talk about all the guys. This is the most active forums in the world. And Charles has been talking about you heavily for 2 years. So that's how we know more about you. But more people needs to know. What's your plan to get more people to know you? Because your personality is top notch. How can we?
Just continue. What I'm gonna do is just continue doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Continue building my Instagram. I got a YouTube channel. I got to get more active on there. The way people are get to know me is by me keep doing what I'm doing, keep progressing and keep winning and keep getting to the big stage. And people are going to find out who I am, and they're gonna want to know about me. They're going to want to dig more information about me, and then they're going to see what this big personality, this deep, sexy voice I got.
Yeah, we've had him on Muscle News Weekly many times, and Rosie, my co-host, my partner, she said, Giles, he's got the coolest voice in bodybuilding.
Can't you do so? You got to do a Barry White duet or something. You got. Oh, he's got a great voice. He does. Yeah.
So
no, we're happy to we're happy to have you on, Charles. We're gonna follow your career closely. We're gonna do all we can do to try to help promote you more, and we want to have you more on in the future, don't we?
Also, I want to hear your views on what you think. What you think will happen at the Olympia this year. You talk about how you're going to do, and also how you think what's
going to happen at this Miss Olympia.
Let's
this Miss Olympia, I think this is going to be one of the most interesting Miss Olympias out there, because it's like, okay, when Phil Heath won it, you're like, okay, if Phil Heath's going to come again, he's going to win it again. But now it's like, I'm not downplaying Sean Roden. I'm not downplaying what Sean Roden does. He's one of the best bodybuilders. He's our Mr. Olympia. So how can I talk bad about the man? But what I'm saying is, I feel like, there's a lot of people out here that could push Sean Roden. You know what I mean? A 75, 80% Phil Heath is ridiculous. I'm not going to. It's still
75%.
You know what I mean?
A 75% Phil Heath? That's all you need?
No, I'm not saying but that shit, Phil Heath is ridiculous.
I know, the best bodybuilder alive. Yeah.
Well, he was 75% of the Olympia, but he lost it.
So
no, he didn't. Nah, he could have won.
If Sean Roden is off, he's beatable. You know what I mean? He's a beatable bodybuilder. Yeah, he's pretty. He's this and that. He's that and that. But when it comes down to it, he's beatable. You got the Brandon Currys. You got the Rollies. You got the Ramis, the Nathan Diashas. You got everybody that's coming that's coming up, and I just feel like it's very interesting. Like it's up in the air. Like when Phil Heath or you got the Jay Cutlers of this, oh, he's gonna win it. He's gonna win it. Now it's like it's very interesting. You know what I mean? I bet you those seats are gonna be sold out because everybody's interested to see if Sean Rhodes is gonna do it or who's gonna be the new Mr. Olympia right now. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be interesting.
Who's winning it this year then?
Who's winning it this year?
Give me a name. Drop me a name.
Oh man, that's hard.
Don't worry, we won't tell anyone. Honestly, it's just between you and me, Charles. Private.
You almost got me right. Hold on. I haven't ate yet.
I knew this. I knew. I could see it in your eyes. I could see it.
It's kind of hard to say who's going to win it this year because you just got so many people that's going to be pushing right now. I don't know. You got the. I don't know. I'm gonna say, Brandon Curry's in the run, and you got the Sean Rhodes, and you got the Rolly. I'm just saying I can't really say who's gonna win it. I'm just gonna say it's gonna be a great Mr. Olympia, and I'm gonna be one of those ones in the mix to up my placing from last year.
Because this is the year everybody can get a good look, so you don't know what placing you're gonna get. You can really. This is not like before. Here you can climb.
AJ, I'll say it now. I'll say it now. He is definitely moving up. Definitely moving up.
Yeah, but to like
really. I mean, this year I think he's really moving up.
7th, 8th place.
I think he's going to move up at least 5-6 places. I really do. Like I was hoping he would make top 10 last year, but he kind of just missed it really. But I mean, the thing is, he still brought an improved package, and that's like I said, it's the guys that make the improvements you've got to keep the eye on. These are the ones that are just quietly doing their thing, growing like hell, turning into the Hulk. And yes, he's like.
Let me ask you guys, who do you guys think is going to win it this year?
Give me one name.
One name, Giles.
I wish Phil Heath had come back and win it.
He's not doing it, sadly.
How do you know?
He told me.
Okay. Well, they speak regularly, those two. They're best mates. I think Rolly. I think he's going to be pissed off by what happened at the Arnold Classic. I think he's got the eye of the tiger, and I think he's going to come back.
It'll be either
I really
Brandon Curry or something... God in the sky will help Big Ramy do something epic this year.
No.
So it's either Big Ramy or Brandon Curry.
I'm interested to see. That's why I don't want to do the Tampa Pro because Ramy and Neil Yoda, they got some stuff mixing up. They gonna do some stuff, and I want to get it taken care of. Because I'm not trying to go against Big Ramy because him and Neil got some stuff smoking, and everybody's like, he's waiting to the last minute, this and that. It's Big Ramy, you know what I mean? So he can wait to the last minute, you know what I mean? I'm a realist. I'm not a fool. I'm a realist. And Ramy's one of the best out there. So yeah, Ramy nails it. Ramy could be the next Mr. Olympia. You know what I mean?
There's a clue in the name with Ramy. Big.
Yeah, exactly.
Big Ramy.
And he can still lose. He could lose 30 pounds. Still be big.
Still be the biggest thing up there. I think Rolly Curry are going to be the final two. I really do.
So you don't have Rolly in your top 3?
No, I think it'll be third, fourth. I think, and I'm very curious. I'll be honest, I have no idea how Ramy's going to do. I've heard about a shoulder injury, and he's he's kind of all over the place. I don't know what's going to happen. But if anyone can bring him in. Is best, it will be Neil because Neil won't take care of his diet and get him. Neil will get him shredded. That's a given. He did it with Zach Khan in 2009. He brought him in his best ever condition. But I think it's the training because he will adjust and make those adjustments to Ramy's physique. What do you think? Come on, AJ. You're
I said Big Ram. I think there's something going on.
Big Ramy.
Yeah, Big Ramy's gonna
knock your friend Curry.
Oh yeah. One of these two.
We're always trying to catch each other out. You said so and so last episode. Now you changed your tune.
No, I think it's Brandon Curry. I think if one name, I think Brandon Curry. He won Arnold Classic. He's very hungry. He's going back to Kuwait. He's going back. You see him at his guest posting, didn't you, Charles?
Yeah, he looked like a freak.
And he's going back to Kuwait to eat more calories and.
Eat more calories.
Yeah, you know what he's gonna do?
Plenty of calories.
He's gonna come in and he's hungry. He's got the eye of the tiger, like Charles has.
Yes.
And Brandon Curry, I met Brandon Curry last year at the Olympia, and I'm gonna have to say, like, he was one of he was one of the coolest guys that I met backstage. You know what I mean? Brandon Curry's just a real cool dude. Even my girlfriend met his wife, and they were talking and everything. Yeah. Brandon Curry's a solid dude. I like Brandon Curry. He shows some love and everything like that. Brandon Curry's a solid dude, and he's hungry. You know what I mean? So, you know, and he's up there in Kuwait doing some special things out there in Kuwait. You know what I mean? I almost went to Kuwait.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, that's what we want to ask. What's going on with that? What happened?
Tell us.
I almost went to Kuwait. When was that? That was before the 2018 season. Coach Abdullah reached out. I'm just sitting here at my house. All of a sudden, I get an Instagram message. I'm like, who's this? And I look, I'm like, this is, oh, holy shit, this is Coach Abdullah right here. And he's asking some questions and stuff like that. And he was like, we want you to come out here. And that's when they had got Regan. And he was like, I want you to come out with Regan. I want both of you guys to come out. So I'm like geeked. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. I talked to my girl. I'm like, I got my savings. I'm going to just give you the money. You pay all the bills. And I'm about to go out here and I'm about to do it. And, you know, I was ready to do it. And I went out to Miami to Nationals. And I was waiting to hear back from Abdullah them. I was waiting to hear back. They had me on the fishing line, just hooked, ready. And I'm ready to get it. And then I saw Jay Cutler. Oh. And I said, I pulled Jay Cutler aside and I talked to Jay Cutler and I was like, man, I just need your information. Let me pick your brain on whether, you know, what you think, this and that. He was like, do you need to go to Kuwait to get bigger? He says, no, you're huge. He says, is it hard for you to focus? I'm like, no, I'm focused. He says this and that. He says, so why would you leave your circle to try to fit in their square? Yeah. And I'm like, okay. And it made sense to me. And then I was just like, okay.
As well.
And I was like, you know, and then I'm trying to, and Jay Cutler just such a cool dude. He just kept talking, just kept giving me food for thought. And I'm like, you know what? I don't need to go out there. So why would I leave my personal training business that I started up, that I'm making real good money with? I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Yeah. So why would I leave to go to Kuwait and do this? So at that point in time, I just like, you know what? I'm not going to do the Kuwait thing. So if they do reach out, so I reached out and just said, you know, I don't think this is going to be the right thing for me to come out to Kuwait. So I didn't do the Kuwait thing.
But obviously they saw the potential in you, Charles. So that's a very flattering, you know. That's good.
I don't know, man. Can you imagine, Charles?
Hey, AJ, this is the fastest growing pro.
No, but I know, but imagine, because then you'd only do is eat, rest, food taken care of, training with legends. They prep your massages. You don't have to focus about nothing. Can you imagine? But as you say, your personal, it's training business. Who do you train? Who do you train? Is it regular people? Is it bodybuilders? Talk to me more about your personal training business.
It's regular people. You know, I train regular people. I train amateurs and stuff like that. I don't have any top pros. I don't do any of that. I got a small group of people I coach because I got to be selfish right now. I got a bodybuilding career, and when you coach people, you really got to give them that time. You really got to be invested in them. So I got a handful of people that I know I can give that time to, and I'm not overextending myself trying to just get this money and get this money. So when I am done bodybuilding, I can take everybody. I can get more people and not really tarnish my my team, because I'm just trying to take everybody right now and not giving them the time when I'm trying to focus on my own bodybuilding career. You know what I mean? So I personal train just regular people. I work anywhere from 30 to 40 hours a week. You know what I mean? I got into the personal training to make good money and not work full-time hours, but I'm working full-time hours and money's great, so I can't deny the money, you know what I mean? So
that's brilliant.
I can't deny the money. And to go back to the Kuwait thing, like, I could focus. I'm 100% focused. As you see, all the people that went to Kuwait, the person that benefited the most out of Kuwait is Brandon Curry. Yeah. Now, about what Brandon Curry has, he has a huge family. So he has a lot of responsibility when he's in the States and this and that. So if you get a person away from a huge family and just focus on bodybuilding, you're going to improve. Now me, I'm focused daily, so I don't really get away from my environment to go to Kuwait and just leave my personal training business behind. You know what I mean? So, you know, I didn't need that. So, yeah.
We should listen to Jay Cutler. You're going to be in the same episode with Jay Cutler today.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
He's on in 20 minutes.
Yeah. So that's
he's on in 20 minutes.
Yeah. So we
ran up to Jay Cutler at the Olympia, and I ran up to him. He was like, "Man, you're killing it." He was like, "I hope to think that I had something to do with that."
Oh.
I said, "You had something to do with that." You know?
We'll tell him.
And then Jay Cutler said, "Let's take a picture." I'm like, I didn't tell Jay Cutler to take a picture. He told me, "Let's take a picture." So I'm all geeked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, pumped up.
And I ran into Branch Warren as well. He's like, "Bro, you're killing it, man." And it was just good to be these top of the pros that you know had the best careers in their life. You know, for them to acknowledge me and see me and get all geeked up. So
geeked up. I like that. Yeah. I like that. I love it. Okay, then, Charles. We were going to have a quick break. And, really appreciate you coming on. Like I said, we've known each other now for a couple of years now. And, really excited to see what you're going to bring this year. Because last year was such a great year for you. And I can't wait to see what you're going to look like with all these new gains. Because you're making serious gains, mate. Honestly, I just
looking forward to see the Charles versus Lucas battle in Chicago.
We were looking at that side chest picture, and it was like, whoa! It's like, I can't wait to see it. I can't. Yeah, like you said. Yeah. Charles versus Lucas is going to be... I tell you what, if you're in Chicago area, get to that show, because seeing those two absolute best of the best pros, it's going to be really exciting. It's going to be like
Sergio versus
Alexis. Real tight battle. So that's going to be a really good one. So, Charles, stay in touch, mate, and we'll maybe get you on again maybe later on in the year as well again. So always
sounds good.
Always a pleasure, Charles. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll speak to you soon, mate. Cheers, buddy.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
It's going to do some damage.
Oh,
Chicago Pro, innit?
He's a monster. I love him. He's cool.
Yeah,
he's cool. He's he was. I stay in regular touch with Charles, and like I said, I interviewed him at the Olympia last year, and he's just a cool guy. Really gives off a really good positive vibe, and he's very, like you said, he's very. When he used to send me clips from Moss News Weekly, he was always very easy. One of the easiest guys to get hold of. Very professional, very polite, very respectful, and it's nice when he gives respect to guys like Jay Cutler, and
he's probably a great personal trainer too. His energy,
yes,
and his knowledge, obviously.
Yeah, he clearly loves what he does, and he is on the rise. So it's a synergy of industry giants, and this is what this show is. It's we're showcasing the best of the. My voice is going. Showcasing the best of the best. I hope you enjoy this episode. MD Global Muscle Radio, and we are out.